And welcome to our live Healathon event. I'm Brent Michael
Um,
Phillips. I will be your host for tonight, where I'm going to guide you on an exciting journey to first discover and then experience for yourself the 7 secrets to higher dimensional living. We've got a lot to do. This is going to be an amazing experience. We've got a lot to cover. So here are the things you're going to experience. First, we'll start off with a little discovery and some demonstrations of these 7 secrets so you know what they are and how they work. You'll get to experience subconscious block clearing. You'll get to experience consciousness shifting. And this is really a rare treat. There's honestly only a few people in the world that know how to do this. And I will be doing it with you here right now in a couple of minutes. I'm going to be doing after that a live healing session. I've taken a volunteer from my VIP club, so I'm going to have a real person with a real problem and show you how to apply these secrets in real time. And you get to follow along and get healed too. How awesome is that? We're going to have an extensive question and answer session at the end. I give you my word, I will stay on as long as it takes to answer all of your questions. We're also going to be giving healings to everybody that requests one. And like the questions, I'm pledging I will stay on as long as it takes tonight to give everybody who requests one a healing. And the last thing we'll do before we finish at the end is a radiation clearing healing. I encourage you to stick around for that. It's a really powerful and important process to clear the harmful radiation that's accumulated both in your body and into your electronics, especially your cell phone. And so let's have some fun. This is a live interactive event. And as part of the webcast, we have both a chat room and a Q&A. And so the chat room, please just jump in right now and say hello. Just let us know your first name and where you're at tonight. We'd love to hear from you. So the Q&A is a separate panel. You'll see that on your webcast. That's if you want to submit specific questions for me or a request for healing. And again, after the presentation, I'll be answering all the questions and doing healings on everybody, and I will stay on as long as it takes. And so during the presentation, I won't be able to interact with you in the chat room because I'm obviously presenting. But I have a few of my assistants and students there. And please, again, say hello. If you have any questions, we're happy to help out. So uh, I am Brent Michael Phillips. I have been called the Miracle Engineer. And so why should you care about this, right? Why do I think I can change your life so quickly? Well, let me tell you why. It's because I have made it my life's purpose. It is my mission, my quest to help you end your suffering. It's that simple. I've devoted my life to discovering, understanding, and explaining higher consciousness, how to reach your potential and inner power, to uncover and offer to the world the highest truth, to be a guide and a teacher of awakening and embodiment to help everybody accelerate on their journey to enlightenment, to the end of your suffering. That's why we're here. If you've heard of me maybe on the radio or the TV, I'm very pleased that some of the media have actually called me the #1 most powerful American healer and spiritual teacher. By background, I am a software engineer from MIT. And back during the 80s and 90s when I was at MIT, I am legitimately one of the people that created the modern internet. But the last 15 years plus of my life, I have been a healer, a spiritual teacher, a spiritual coach. I've had over 20,000 students come through my courses. I've facilitated over 18,000 private sessions. And the thing here I am most proud of, I have been able to facilitate over 1,500 miraculous instant healings for my clients. And when I say a miraculous instant healing, I'm not talking about someone who goes, oh, I felt nice energy. I'm talking about things that show up on medical scans that confuse and befuddle doctors. So if you're here to experience and discover the formula for miracles, you're in the right place. You may have heard of me on TV or radio. I've been a frequent guest on both local and national TV and radio. I've also been a frequent guest on a lot of internet telesummits. I've been an expert guest on well over 200 summits, including almost all the big ones, and I've been the most popular and best-selling guest on a lot of them. I am the founder and creator of the Awakening Dynamic System for Personal Transformation. I am a 2-time Amazon #1 best-selling author. And so I know that you want to make the most of our time together. So please, just for the next hour or so, either turn off your cell phone or put it on silent, close or minimize the link, face, twit, gramming app, whatever it is you kids are using this week. Trust me, social media will still be there after we're done here. And I don't want you to be distracted. So, if possible, either mute or turn off your TV. Because again, I want to offer you the fruit of my life's work. I want to give you the keys to the universe. And I know you want to make the most of our time together. So let's jump right into it. I'm here to help you experience miracles. It's that simple. So what's a miracle? Well, quite simply, a miracle is any phenomena that can't be explained by our current level of science and technology. And guess what? You're already living amidst many miracles. You just may not know it. For example, the computer or phone or tablet you're watching this webinar on, that would have been considered a miracle just maybe 100 years ago. Even without a network, electricity is a miracle. Our cars, our houses, the internet, our whole modern world is a miracle. Why? These are things that, again, just 100 years ago would have been considered magical, miraculous, impossible. And so what I want to offer to you is very simple, that the things that we still call miracles, instant healing, the ascension of consciousness, prosperity, finding love, finding purpose, developing razor sharp intuition, even achieving enlightenment, these are all things that are within our grasp now, because there really is a formula for miracles. And I'm going to talk a little more about it. But I want you to know this for now. There really is a way to facilitate and invite miracles into your life. And the only reason you haven't learned it yet is simply that you haven't learned it yet. The same reason why we didn't have cell phones and the internet 100 years ago. People hadn't discovered and understood the technology yet. But I've made it my mission, my purpose to spend my life to figure it out, to offer it to you. Because I guarantee in 20, 50, maybe 100 years in the future, instant healings will be considered normal. Profound transformations around money and success will be considered normal. Developing razor sharp intuition will be normal. Why? It's all just technology. And I want to offer you the state of the art technology for miracles. And so you may ask, okay, Brent, that sounds great, but why do people call you the miracle engineer? Great question. I got my background at MIT. When I was growing up, it was my dream to go to MIT because I wanted to be the world's greatest programmer. It was that simple. I'm not sure I ever achieved that goal, but I did go to college at MIT and I discovered the internet. And of course, if that sounds funny today, but back in the 80s, no one had ever heard of the internet. And long story short, I became one of the world's leading internet experts. When I was in graduate school at MIT, I helped to send the first ever live video over the web. I created some amazing real-time applications. I won't geek out on you on all the things I was involved with. Just know that I really am legitimately and truly one of the people that helped to create the internet. And so when I left MIT, I figured, well, heck, I'm going to move to California, start an internet company, and make millions. And you know what? I had a lot of success at first. My very first year out of MIT, I did the very first website for Nissan Motors. I did the very first website for Disneyland. I even did the first website for the launch of the Sony PlayStation in the summer of 1995. So you know what? Things got off to a great start. And you'd think, well, heck, Brent with such a great background, you went to MIT, you were an internet expert at just the right time, you did these incredible websites, all these high profile projects, you'd be hugely successful, right? Well, you know what? Unfortunately, it went just the other way. I didn't just crash, I burned. My whole life blew up. And so I'm going to go through this quickly because I know a lot of you watching this have already heard my story, but just the basics. When I left MIT, I started a website design company and an online game company. And I figured, well, I'll recruit my lifelong best friend, I'll work really hard for a couple of years, and then sell my companies for millions of dollars. And it got off to a great start. But there was a secret, a dirty little secret, and it was this. In order to create two vast internet companies, things, these things we're doing had never been done before, fast-moving technology, at the beginning of the internet boom. The only reason it happened is because I was working 100 hours a week, literally. It was every day, early morning to late night, 7 days a week, no breaks, no vacations, no holidays. It was nothing but work. And my health started to break down. After a few years of this just brutal work schedule, I started to have some pain and stiffness in my wrist and my elbows and my neck. And then one day it hit me like a ton of bricks. After another long day at the office, I went out to drive home, and my hands were shaking so bad I couldn't get the car open. But I didn't panic. I figured, well, heck, I'll go to the doctors. They'll take care of me. And so, long story short, I spent 3 years in conventional therapy, and I didn't get better. I got worse. My pain got so bad I had to move in with my parents because some days I was in so much pain I had to have my mother cut my food for me. I'm not kidding. I even had a lot of trouble driving. I could only drive 10 or 15 minutes at a time because I'd have to pull over because holding the steering wheel was too painful. But you know what? After 3 years of treatment, I finally got in to see the head doctor at Curlin Job, which is the top physical therapy clinic in Los Angeles, where all the professional athletes and Olympians go. And I was so excited. I'm like, wow, I'm finally going to see one of the best doctors in the world. I know he'll be able to help me. And I walked into his office and he had all my files on his desk and he just looked at me and said, I'm sorry, son, but there's nothing I or any doctor can do for you. You're always going to be in a lot of pain and can never be able to work. And I was dumbfounded. I was like, what? The best doctor in the world is telling me he can't help me? And the last thing he said before I left his office, he said, tell me, son, is there someone that can take care of you until you die? I kid you not. And he put me on permanent disability when I was 27 years old. They actually told me, please don't come back. They didn't want to waste their valuable resources on an impossible case. And so I was devastated. When I told my best friend about this, my business partner, I figured he'd be like, hey, buddy, hang in there. We'll get through it together. Instead, the opposite happened. I was fired from my position at the company. The website company that I had founded, it was my idea. I built it up with my blood, sweat, and tears. Were sold for millions of dollars behind my back. And so I was devastated. What I call the cherry on top of that hot fudge sundae was I also found out that my lifelong best friend and partner had secretly been dating the woman I was in love with. So it was a wipeout, as they say, a dark night of the soul. Everything went wrong. I was in terrible pain. I couldn't work. I was living with my parents. I had no money. I was racking up credit card debt. And I was told that there was no possibility of recovery. And my case was so bad, I was put on permanent disability at 27 and sent home to die. And so I didn't get totally down at first. It seemed like my life was over, but I had a friend of mine get me into positive thinking. And so, long story short, for the next year or so, I became this gung-ho positive thinking warrior. I went to positive thinking weekends and I put power words on my walls and said my mantras and affirmations. And I'd go and jump on the stage and high five my friends and make vision boards and all that kind of good stuff. Well, guess what? It didn't help. I didn't get better. I got worse. I then turned to alternative medicine as I figured, well, maybe this alternative stuff could help, right? And so, long story short, I spent 5 years as a professional patient trying everything, you name it, acupuncture, herbs, homeopathy, osteopathy, craniosacral work, chiropractors, Pilates and yoga, and Reiki healing and pranic healing. And I did all these different cleanses and diets and detoxes and machines and you name it. I didn't get better. I got worse. And things really reached rock bottom in 2003 when I agreed to have an experimental surgery that a doctor thought could help me. I was accepted into the program, and when I woke up after the surgery, instead of being cured of my pain, I found my right arm paralyzed. I couldn't move it at all. And so it was stuck like that for several months. I tried all sorts of manipulations and machines and all that. And it was then that I got turned on to this woman named Terry from my aunt. And she said, hey, Brent, my friend Terry does this New Age healing thing. I think she's a little nuts, but, go ahead and try it. Maybe it could help you. And I went to see Terry, and honestly, I didn't expect her to be able to help me. I had been to like Reiki healers and pranic healers before, and she talked to me a little about the power of the subconscious and how the subconscious blocks can cause health problems, and talked to me about my belief in God and what had happened with my first wife and my best friend, and all the pain I'd been through and the money I had lost and all the traumas and such. And it was a very interesting. She did this subconscious block clearing thing, which I'll demonstrate for you in a few minutes. And at the end of our session, she just said, "Okay, Brent, relax. We'll take care of your arm." And I'm like, "Yeah, lady, good luck, right? Give it a shot." And she's sitting across the room from me because this is all done with the mind. There's no hands-on, there's no machines, there's nothing you take, nothing like that. And she just kind of went into a trance. And about a minute later, my elbow went pop. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I could move my arm again. And so that was the first miracle. That was a huge turning point in my life where I looked at her and I said, Terry, I don't know what you just did, but I got to learn this. And so that was the day where this MIT engineer decided to become a healer. I wanted to figure out what had happened because I had discovered and experienced a miracle. But I knew it was not a coincidence. I knew that everything acts according to the laws of the universe. And I knew I could find that code. I knew I could figure it out. And so I started on my journey. And I've spent over 15 years, over 20,000 hours, and over $500,000 to work with the master healers, the intuitives, the gurus, the best people in the world. And I have figured out how it all works. I learned their secrets and shortcuts and techniques, and now I'm here to share it with you. And again, it took me a long time, but I think I've cracked the code. There is a formula for spiritual technology, and that's why I'm here tonight with this presentation. I want you to experience this for yourself. One thing I want to emphasize, you may be thinking, okay, Brent, sure, you could do it. You could be a master healer, right? You went to MIT and, you had all this success with all these websites. Well, guess what? I want everyone to know that certainly when I started this, many of my teachers told me I was their worst student ever. Why? I was so stuck in my mind. I couldn't feel at all. MIT had put me so deep in my head, it disconnected me from everything. And truly, one of the miracles of my life is that I could learn this stuff. And I want to be very clear that the reason will be so easy for you is because it was so hard for me. I had to learn all the ins and outs, all the nitty-gritty, all the details in order to figure it out. And because I was so bad at it, you're going to be amazing at it. And so I want to emphasize this because it confirms for me that if I can learn to do this, energy healing, accessing intuition, seeing energy, dissolving pain, experiencing instant healings, you can do this too, guaranteed. And you're going to be able to do it much faster, much more easily, and with a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of the expense and effort that I had to go to. And so remember, when I was 27, I was told my life was over. I was put on permanent disability. I spent years running around for treatments, racking up an enormous credit card debt. I've been through a bankruptcy. I've been through a divorce. I mean, I won't bore you with all the things I've been through. I've had migraines. I had cancer. I mean, on and on and on. And I was able to overcome all of that using the exact system I'm going to share with you tonight. One of the proudest moments of my life was when I got to take my son to see the World Series. Oh my gosh. 20 years ago, I never would have thought that would be possible. But I was able to heal my body, heal my mind, start a new career, make money, find love, start a family, and create an enormous amount of positive change in the world. And that's what I want to share with you. You can see my wonderful family here and my little boy RJ, who's the center of my universe. Just one of the many things I'm not going to talk much about. I was told I could never have children because I had Lyme disease. I had suffered from severe chemical poisoning, a lot of other stuff that I don't want to get into. And he's become the light of my life. But I'm sure you're a lot more interested in what this can do for you. So using these exact same 7 secrets, we're going to be sharing and demonstrating and using with you tonight. Some things other people have done. I mentioned I have helped my clients to experience over 1,500 miraculous instant healings. And again, this is stuff that confounds doctors and shows up on medical scans. I've seen dozens of instant healings from cancer. The most important was my mother. She was diagnosed with clear cell endometrial cancer in 2010. I did one healing session with her, exactly what I'm going to share with you tonight. Again, we're doing a live demonstration in a few minutes. Just like that, from one healing session, all the cancer vanished from her body. When she had the surgery afterwards, her oncologist said, Karen, I've been doing this for over 30 years and I've never seen this happen. Somehow, all the dangerous cancer vanished from your body. Again, that's just one of the many miracles. If you go to my website, you'll see I have hundreds and hundreds of testimonials. This stuff really works. I have helped my clients and students to achieve profound life transformations, especially around money and relationships. Absolutely. And perhaps most importantly, I've helped thousands of people to significantly raise their consciousness, to reduce the amount of suffering they experience, help them move towards enlightenment. And this is the exact system I want to show you right here, right now. And so, before we go any further, I want to offer you some hard proof, something more than words and anecdotes, that this really works. And so here's some proof. What I'm going to share with you are some live blood cell analysis pictures. What is that? Well, live blood cell analysis is when they take a drop of your blood and look at it under a microscope, and they can determine the state of your health by how it looks. And so I've had this done a couple times with people before and after my weekend intensive. And so I'm going to show you just a few before and after pictures so you can see for yourself the incredible change that happens in your physical blood by learning these things. Again, that you don't take anything, there's no supplements or special foods or anything. This is just 2 days spent in higher consciousness with me, and this is what happens. And so here's some pictures from Tom. On the left is Tom's blood on Friday afternoon before we started the event. The picture on the right is the same person's blood 2 days later on Sunday. And the only difference is you spent 2 days with me immersed in this energy of higher consciousness. That's it. And this is the incredible physical change that happens. And you don't have to be a live blood cell analyst to see this is pretty phenomenal, huh? This is the change that happens within the cells of your body when you're exposed to this energy. Here's another few pictures from a woman, Nicole. Again, the picture on the left is her blood on Friday before we started the event. And on the right is her blood on Sunday, just 2 days later. And I've done this several times with different live blood cell analysts. All of them have told me the same thing. They say, Brent, I can't believe this. Normally, to see this much change in someone's blood takes at least 6 months of special diets, supplements, meditation, and detoxifying. We can do it in 2 days, just with the energy of higher consciousness. This really is the formula for miracles. Here's just one more. Here's Tony. Here's her blood on Friday before the event started on the left, and there's her blood on Sunday after the event. All this done just in a 2-day training. Pretty incredible, huh? So there's some hard proof that what we're doing here creates incredible positive change in every cell of your body. I know you want to experience that. I know you want your mind and body to be sharper, healthier, stronger, more powerful, and I'm here to help you. And so, quite simply, there are 7 secrets to miracle consciousness. Just 7 things you need to know in order to experience this kind of change, to watch your blood transform, to experience instant healings, to change the direction of your life. And I'll talk just very quickly about all of them. We have instant healings, we have communicating with the subconscious mind, the development of intuition, clearing subconscious blocks, what I call subconscious recoding. We have theta wave manifesting, meaning how to use a waking theta brain state to send a signal out to the universe to bring things into your life. We have embodiment, and I'll talk a little more about this. This is a huge missing piece in many of the systems and programs I've studied. We do that through consciousness shifting, which we're going to do here in a few minutes, and movement feedback holography, which I'm going to show you a demonstration of. And lastly, there is awakening. the deepest spiritual truth, discovering you. So let's talk all about them in order. Secret number one, instant healing. This is the exact same process I used to deliver over 1,500 miracles to my clients. This is the exact same process I'll be using for everyone tonight that requests a healing from me. And so what I want to do is offer a quick case study here from a man named Aristotle. He came to one of my courses not long ago, and I want to show you a short video of what happened to him right after he went through it. So let's turn it over to Aristotle here for a short time.
Hi, my name is Aristotle Karras. I wanted to give a testimonial for my friend Brent Phillips. That I just took his class, Awakening Dynamics. It was probably the most in-depth healing workshop that I've ever taken. It was so profound because it gave you real tools that you were able to use right away. One of the students in the class, besides myself, we ended up knowing each other and from another event, and we called each other a couple of days later after class, and she happened to fall down and hit her head. And I said, "Hey, do you mind if I do some casework on you?" And she goes, "Absolutely, please." And within minutes, she was having her head ache and trauma that she had go away. And I've had amazing experiences since then, been able to work on myself, work on my family. I just cannot say enough about Brent Phillips and what a gift he is to the world, and his skills and his level of teaching. Just the handouts alone were just epic.
So there you have it from Aristotle. Next, I want to share with you a case study from one of my students who recently came to the course. I haven't had a time to get his video yet, but this is what he told me. In his words, he said, "I didn't do my first healing until 6 months after I'd taken your course, when my mother was diagnosed with leukemia. She was taken to Georgetown University, one of the best hospitals, and told she had 2 weeks to live. They sent her home with some medications and a very small chance of survival." And Anthony goes on to say, "I wasn't sure if I was ready, but with your block clearing, I was confident in my training." So he did a healing on her. The same process I'm going to demonstrate for you in a few minutes. And then he says, this week she returned to the hospital and they found no trace of the big C. She is 100% healed. And I wanted to share this with you because this is someone that just went through the weekend training, didn't even use it for 6 months, and experienced a miracle and saved his mother's life. This really happened. And I know you want to learn this. I know you want to have this power, this ability. I mean, after all, if you can just do one awesome healing like this, even if it's just one for the rest of your life, isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth the time and the energy times 1,000, a million? I think so. And so, again, I'm showing these because these are things that my students did. All they did was go through the first training. That's it. So on to the second secret, body intelligence. One of the most important things I want to share with you is how to bypass the conscious mind in order to get a direct hotline to your body's intelligence, to the subconscious mind. And so here's how it works. The mind lies. The mind can deceive you. What we say, what we write, it can be deceiving. However, when you know how to communicate with the body, it always tells the truth. And there's a couple of ways we use this. One is how to identify the codes in the subconscious. You'll see me using this in the live healing we're going to do in a few minutes. Another way is through the movement feedback holography. We actually learn how to read the energy patterns coming off the body through movement. And so this is really important stuff. When you learn how to communicate directly with the body, you will discover the deepest truths and you will be able to move your life forward. On to secret number 3, intuition. Part of my mission is to show everyone how to access their intuition. And this is so important because everybody can do it. Trust me, it took me years and years of practice to figure it out. And if I can do it, MIT engineer stuck deep in his head, if I can do it, you can too. Because intuition is your connection to the higher power. It is your higher intelligence. And guess what? The odds don't matter when you have a strong intuitive connection. Intuitively, you can learn the right house to buy, the right stocks to buy, the right foods to eat, the right people to associate with. This is a life changer, and I would love to share this with you. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to share with you a quick case study here from a woman named Felicia and how she came through this training and the incredible results she experienced about how it turbocharged her intuition. So let's turn it over to Felicia here.
Hey Brent, this is Felicia here. As a result of taking the class, being a level 1 Formula for Miracles practitioner, I am able to heal people instantly. As a result of that, my income has increased by at least 20%, and I launched a radio show that Sunday night, and so I would like for you to be on the show. And so I am just so grateful and thankful that I am a part of your tribe and will continue to be, because I do intend to take the next set of classes. So that's what Formula for Miracles has done for me. It personally has changed my life. The Unleashing Your Inner Millionaire helped me to overcome some negative thoughts about money and success. Um, what else? Some generational curses. And I mean, it was instant, and I saw results after that. Like I said, my income increased 20%, my confidence increased, my self-esteem, how I, knowing that I am more than enough, even my intuitiveness increased. So I'm stepping back into my power. I am my power, and I'm grateful and thankful.
So there you go. A little bit from Felicia about her experience. Now we're going to move on and talk to you about secret number 4, subconscious recoding. And this is really important because this is the way we clear out the blocks. I'm going to show you how to find the subconscious blocks, how to clear them, and how to install new code into your subconscious. And I have highly optimized this technology. I've used everything I learned at MIT to make it so fast, so easy, so powerful that everyone that comes through the training learns how to clear subconscious blocks on the second day in just seconds. Guaranteed. Everybody. And this is literally rewriting the software of your life. I call it the software of your soul. And by learning to identify and clear these blocks and add in new code to the subconscious, you can completely change your life. Literally how it works is we all have programs inside of us for every area of your life, just like a computer. You have a program for your career, your physical health, your emotional health, your love life, your intuition, your sense of purpose, your friendships, everything, even your level of happiness, you have a program for. And I want to show you how to change those programs, how to improve them. And I want to do a couple demonstrations here so you can see exactly what this looks like. I am going to be doing a live healing demonstration in just a few minutes, but right now I want to start by showing you a demonstration. This was recorded live at one of my weekend workshops with a man named Michael. And I want you to see a miracle happen during the healing session. And I'm going to show you just a little bit of it here. Anyone that's interested, I have the full video I'd be happy to share with you. Now, it's about 15 minutes to watch the full session. But he came to my workshop. I picked him out of my crowd. We did 15 minutes of healing. And this is what it looks like. So we'll turn it over here. I'll give you just a little demonstration of what this. Let's check. I have to quit my job to make more money?
I have to quit my job to make more money.
Good. You have your own company or a job or?
Own company.
Okay. I have to start a different company to make more money.
I have to start a different company to make more money.
No. Okay. You may want to. We just don't want to make you think you have to.
Okay.
Let's check. I have to take a huge risk to make more money.
I have to take a huge risk to make more money.
Okay. Let's clear that, okay?
Okay.
I have to take a huge risk to make more money.
I have to take a huge risk to make more money.
Good.
Okay.
I have to know how it's going to happen first.
I have to know how it's going to happen first.
No. Good. I'm open to Creator's plan for my life.
I'm open to Creator's plan for my life.
Good. I can be happy no matter how much money I make.
I can be happy no matter how much money I make.
Nope. Want to shift that?
Might as well, yeah.
It's okay. I can be happy no matter how much money I make.
I can be happy no matter how much money I make.
Good. I can take care of my family no matter how much money I make.
I can take care of my family no matter how much money I make.
Good. I am comfortable in my new energy.
I'm comfortable with my new energy.
Good. My body is comfortable with its new energy.
My body is comfortable with its new energy.
All right. All set. Good work. Yay. Congratulations, sir. So there you go. That's what it looks like. And in a few minutes, I'll show you from Michael in his own words what happened afterwards. But let's keep moving. We've got a lot to cover. Secret number 5, theta wave manifesting. And so this is a really important tool because this is how we bring things into our life, right? We manifest. But you may be thinking, hey, Brent, whoa, pump the brakes. That sounds to me like the law of attraction. And I've done a lot of law of attraction stuff. Maybe you spent a lot of money on it and didn't get a lot of results. And so I'm going to answer that. What is the law of attraction? Well, the law of attraction tells us that what you focus on tends to show up in your life, right? If you focus on being positive, being wealthy, you'll tend to have a happy, prosperous life. If you're focused on problems and negativity and scarcity, you'll get more of that. So that's what the law of attraction is. But of course, most of us who have done law of attraction stuff, maybe you're like me and you went to all these different programs and seminars and intensives and retreats. You may have spent a lot of money on it without seeing a lot of positive change. Well, there's actually a study that was done, and it showed over 99% of people that used the law of attraction felt they got bad results. That's pretty awful, right? That the typical law of attraction has a 99% failure rate. Well, guess what? There's a reason for that. It's because many of us are full of subconscious blocks. And using this technology, what I just showed you in the little demo with Michael, you can change that. You can have a much higher success rate, but only if you have the right technology. Otherwise, you can throw away $1 million on coaches and positive thinking weekends. It's not going to do anything. But there is a secret. I want to help you make that breakthrough. You may say, okay, Brent, what about that 1% of people that do use the law of attraction and are successful, right? Like a lot of the people teach in the seminars and sell in the books. Well, that's because there's about 1% of us that are naturally clear of subconscious blocks. So, you get 200 people in a room, on average, 2 of them will have success. But I want to do much better. I want to show you how to raise the success rate dramatically with the right technology. Because for me, remember, I spent about a year on this positive thinking path, going to all these programs and seminars and coaches, ran up a huge amount of credit card debt, and it did nothing for me. Why? I was full of subconscious blocks. That's the difference Terry made for me. With this technology, you can clear your blocks. You can actually get results. So let me emphasize, the law of attraction won't work until you can clear your blocks. And so good news is, in just a few minutes, I'm going to be doing, again, a live healing demonstration of what we call digging, of taking a real person with a real problem and helping them to very quickly, it'll probably be 30 minutes or less, identify and clear the huge blocks that have been holding them back. So you're going to get to see me do that live. Again, remember, 99% of our power is locked up in the subconscious. That's huge, right? And so in order to access that power, we need to use the theta wave. And so the keys to having success with manifesting are very simple. 1, you need the technology of the theta wave. I'm going to offer that to you and make it really, really easy. And 2, you need to clear your subconscious blocks. You do that, the theta wave is like this magical key that unlocks the power of the subconscious mind. It's pretty amazing. And so remember Michael from a few minutes ago? Well, in that little block clearing session you saw, now I'm going to show you in his words what happened in his life just a few days later. This has actually happened literally the day after the weekend course. So we'll turn it over to Michael again.
In September, Brent called me up and we did some digging. You may notice in the manifesting in your booklet we just did, it said if you had a manifest that showed up tonight, come and let us know tomorrow, which triggered my thoughts about this story. Well, Brent did the digging on me. We went through financial prosperity. Very intuitive, very good session. But I remember at the end he said something like, okay, now the money can flow to you. Let's bump it up a bit and have some good money come in. So I went home. My pot of gold was not sitting there on my front doorstep. So I didn't have a story the next day. And the day after that, it was still pretty much life as usual. However, well, let me tell you, I was at one point the director of computing for a good chunk of the UCLA campus. It was back in the mid-90s. I left there in 96. Well, on Monday, I had a letter from the University of California saying that they had money for me. As a matter of fact, it was over a 6-figure check, and they wanted to know if I wanted them to process and send it to me. They'd been trying to find me, and they finally located me. So I thought about this because I told Brent I thought he was slipping there. It took so long for that money to show up, but I had to give him a break because we figured out there was no mail delivered on Sunday. So check showed up on Monday.
Yep.
Well, the letter showed up on Monday, so all I had to do was request the check.
Yep. Pretty incredible, huh? And of course, I have to emphasize, I can't promise everyone's going to get that result. Not everyone that comes through this training has over $100,000 show up out of nowhere on Monday. But this really happened, and it's because we applied these technologies. We used the theta state, we cleared his blocks, and boom, his life transformed. Over $100,000 showed up the day after. I think that's pretty amazing. But on to secret number 6, which is embodiment. And this is important because this is a huge missing piece in almost everything I have studied. And so what does this mean? Well, what is embodiment? Well, quite simply, embodiment is going beyond learning spiritual teachings to living them. And so embodiment is the difference between reading a book about how to swim and actually jumping in the water and swimming. And this is what I want to do for you with the energy healing, the law of attraction, the higher consciousness. Of course, I'm going to show you the best technology and explain it to you, but I'm also going to give you the experience of it, because I don't just want to talk to you about this stuff. I want you to experience it for yourself. And this is huge, huge, huge. The embodiment is what made the biggest difference in my life, in awakening and embodiment. When I first started the embodiment through the movement, which we'll demonstrate in a second, I literally more than doubled my income in less than 6 months. And it kept rising after that. So that this is no joke, that this is enormous. Because embodiment turbocharges your abilities. Whether it's for healing, for manifesting, for intuition, for purpose, for making a difference in the world. This is a huge spiritual turbocharger. And there's 3 primary techniques we use for this. One is movement feedback holography, where we read the energy pattern on people doing special movements, and I entrain them into the quantum field to reprogram those patterns, and I'm going to demonstrate that. We also do it through consciousness shifting, which we'll do also in a few minutes right here on this webinar, as well as brainwave synchronization, which is a little more advanced. And just know that without embodiment, you cannot fully activate the law of attraction. And there's very few people out there that really know what they're doing and how to teach this. Good news is, I think you found one of them. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you just a little clip of a real-life movement feedback holography session with Jake. And this, again, was recorded live at one of my weekend intensives. And I think it'll be much easier for you to see what it is rather than me trying to talk about it. So here we go. Let's turn it over to Jake.
Wow. It's his left and right side are totally split. It's like there's a barrier down the middle of his body. And the left and right are not cooperating. They're oddly in sync.
Very much in sync, yeah.
They're very much in sync. But I see like this big barrier right down the middle.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's like dividing you in half.
It's hard to see it from the side, but I can see it on the camera view. It's like a 1 foot wide barrier between the two.
There's also a little bit of frustrated loss, not sure where to go. That's showing up? Yeah. That he has energy, but he feels like what he's doing doesn't really matter. That's just wrong and bad. Show us the bully, the brute.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
I think the room is shaking.
Yeah. It felt like a wave of force flew off of you.
Oof, there's some power there.
You see how much sadness is coming up? That's okay. Go with the sadness. The sadness will set you free of all this.
And it's pulling in towards him a lot more.
Yeah.
The energy's coming in.
You can feel how powerful he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is really good.
Oh, yeah.
You see,
and even though he's sitting, it's moving through his whole body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like a power that's flowing from top to bottom.
Can you see his vision turned on? Mm-hmm. You can see he has huge vision. There's so much wisdom in there.
Pretty cool stuff, huh? It may seem a little strange if you've never seen this before, but the movement is probably the most profound and powerful technique that I've experienced to move yourself forward. And I know you want to experience that too. And we do it all in the first weekend intensive. But I want to still cover secret number 7, awakening, which I've saved for last because it is the deepest, the most challenging, but also the most rewarding. And so, what is awakening? Well, first, let me tell you what it's not. When I say awakening, I'm not talking about learning about energy healing or the law of attraction or intuitive readings. That's good stuff. What I'm talking about is something very specific. When I say awakening, I mean coming to a crystal clear understanding of what you are, this awareness, and how that's completely different than you as the separated ego. And the awakening is so important. This was such a huge change in my life. And this is not something Brent invented. This has been around for thousands and thousands of years. In the Eastern traditions, this is considered the highest study there is, what's called Jnana Yoga, the yoga of wisdom. In the West, we call it non-duality. In the East, it's called Advaita Vedanta. But this is the deepest truth. This is truly all of these things and more. Awakening is the beginning of the end of suffering. It is the key to penetrating and releasing attachment. It is your personal spiritual turbocharger. By learning to penetrate and release attachment, to be present, to drop in, you will become so much more powerful doing healings, doing manifesting, doing everything in your life. This is the secret of higher consciousness, and many have referred to it as the foot in the door to enlightenment. There's one path to enlightenment through higher consciousness in terms of how we map the progress, and that path goes right through awakening. There is no enlightenment without awakening. Without awakening, there will always be suffering, no matter how rich or powerful or healthy you are. And so I want to give you all of this. And so without further ado, I want to move ahead so everyone can actually experience higher consciousness. Enough talking about it for now. I want you to experience this. And so we're going to spend a few minutes doing what I call the consciousness shifting process. For many people, you will start to see energy and auras with your open eyes. Now, it doesn't happen for everyone the first time. For some people, you may need repeated exposures. And for some, it's more intense than for others. But for many, this will unlock your ability to see energy and auras with your open eyes. If that happens for you, please let us know in the chat room. We'd love to hear from you. Another purpose of this is by moving you into a higher place of consciousness, it can help to dissolve pain and discomfort. So if you're in any kind of pain right now, it could be physical pain, emotional pain, doesn't matter, financial pain, what you'll notice is afterwards, it will lessen. It may still be there a little bit, it may be completely gone, we'll see what happens. But higher consciousness can dissolve any pain. It really can, and I want to show you so you can experience this for yourself. The most important reason I do this is I want to give you a little taste of awakened consciousness. It's like talking about orange juice. I could talk to you all day about it, but it's no substitute for taking a sip. This is the closest thing I found to giving you a little taste of awakened consciousness. What we're going to do is really to crank up the volume of okayness in your life and the world. Because guess what? 3 minutes from now, you're going to be in the same body, the same family, the same job, the same financial situation. But guess what? When you can raise your consciousness, everything will seem more okay. You will be empowered to take action that will make a difference. And this is really important. Everything will seem more okay. That frees you up your power for positive change. So, some warnings. If you go deep into this, you may see faces disappear. If you're looking at my picture, you may see my face fade away and others show up. If it does, great. What you're seeing is me in other incarnations, what we call past life memories. Don't panic, not everyone sees it. But if you do, that's what's happening. You're seeing beyond the veil. If you go very deep, you may seem like the whole room is fading away. That's incredible if you can do it. Don't worry. Again, that's wonderful. It means you're really getting it. You may also notice that objects that seem to be that you know are stationary seem to be moving. There is an illusion of movement. If you see that, great, you're on the right track. And just know that you don't have to have any visual experience to get benefit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for about 3 minutes here, and I'm going to draw you into this place of higher consciousness. And I'm going to talk just a little bit because I want everyone to know I'm here with you. But I'm not going to talk nonstop because I can go deeper into the quantum field with you when I'm not speaking. So again, I'm just slowly going to entrain you into the zone. If you're not sure what to do, just look at my left eye on the picture. So here we go. And I'll just talk a little so you know I'm here. And what I'm doing is entraining you into the quantum field. We're literally seeing beyond the veil, the illusion of our physical reality, to see the truth underneath. Not everyone gets the visual effects, at least at first. And I'll stick with it, you will. You might see the white aura appear. If you're really good, you may see the colors too. Try to minimize your blinking. Don't force your eyes open, but the less you blink, the deeper it's possible to go into the quantum field. You may notice things getting blurry. That's good. That means you're getting it. And so I'm going to just go quiet here to go a little deeper into the field with everybody. Don't worry, I'm going to be here the whole time. So we'll do just a little more here. All right, and then I'll gently bring everyone back to normal, whatever that is, huh? Excellent. So remember, the goal there is just to give you a little taste of higher consciousness. And a lot of us are unconsciously resistant to that. If we're really stuck in the ego, it's not your fault. It takes a little while to pull out of it. And so I hope you had some great experiences. Please let me know in the chat room. Let us know. Were you able to see my aura? Did you see anything moving around? Did you see other faces? And more importantly, do you feel everything's a little more okay? This is higher consciousness, less suffering. So if you experienced anything, less pain, more spaciousness, everything's more okay, please let us know in the chat room. We'd love to hear from you. And so I'm going to offer one super fast case study from Deborah about her experience diving in and learning this stuff. And so we'll turn it over to Deborah. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Deborah. I was a student of Brent's this past year, and I'd like to sincerely thank him for all that he taught me in his Awakening Dynamics Level 1 course. Prior to that, I had been in the technical field for 21 years, and I had to leave in 2014 due to chronic fatigue syndrome. This was mostly stress related for me, and being the left brain logical person that I decided that I was going to take a leap of faith and leave my job and go ahead and work on the physical. And I didn't really have a lot of concepts in the metaphysical world. So about a year and a half later, I was kind of in the same predicament, and I was spinning my wheels, and I was really feeling hopeless. And then I learned about Brent on a teleseminar in 2015 of December, and he spoke about his story, which I related to because we're both technical, and he talked about some concepts that I wasn't familiar with in the metaphysical world. And so I was really intrigued, skeptical but intrigued, because I had tried so much more before that. And so I took a leap of faith with him, and I went ahead and enrolled in his course in January. And he taught me that everything up here really does shape how we see our world. So he showed us the tools to simply access that information of these limiting beliefs, and he showed me how to reprogram them in a very simple and elegant manner. So, and I'm really thrilled because, about 8 months later, life is just so different now, and I'm just so excited because I'm about to start a holistic business, and my health is just improved significantly. So I'm really sincerely grateful to Brent for getting that information out there, and especially for people like myself who are very technically oriented, because he made it so easy to understand all these metaphysical concepts, and he really opened up my world. So thank you so much, Brent.
All right, so thank you to Deborah for sharing with us. Now I have a question. Is this for you? Are you open to the possibility that a genuine spiritual awakening is the gateway to finally live the life that you know you deserve? Is this for you? I think you want to deepen your understanding, to awaken the unlimited healing energy within you. And who's interested in discovering the secrets hidden in the ancient mystery schools? I am very lucky that my teacher gave me permission to share these with the world, unfiltered, to give you the purest, the most powerful teachings that for thousands of years you could only learn at the highest levels of the ancient mystery schools. And so are you ready? Are you ready to leave your old life behind? Are you ready to move into the higher dimensions, to experience the power, the fulfillment, the joy that comes with knowing how to use and apply all these things? We know that you were created to lead an extraordinary life. And I'm confident you'll agree this program is the key to unlocking your authentic power. And so for any program, no matter what it is, if you want to learn karate, if you want to learn surfing, a language, learn to play guitar, energy healing, you name it, for any program to be effective, there must be 3 core components. Number 1, you want to learn from cutting edge yet proven content. That's important. You want the best stuff available, but you need to know what works. Number 2, you need supervised practice with masters. This is important. This is why you can't learn energy healing or karate from a book. You need to have supervised practice with people who really know what they're doing. And lastly, you need ongoing support. You need a community. You need an opportunity for deep discovery. What this will not be is, come through a seminar, get a rubber stamp certificate, and be thrown to the street. No. I'm going to give you a lot of ongoing support, community opportunities to get help, to practice, to go deep into the topics you're interested in. And so the Secrets to Higher Dimensional Living Weekend Intensive is truly the culmination of my life's work. It is an in-depth live training with lots of hands-on exercises to take you deep into every aspect of this formula for miracles. You will learn and use all of these secrets: instant healing, communicating with the body intelligence, developing refining intuition, learning to do subconscious block learnings and downloads, theta wave manifesting, embodiment through movement, through consciousness shifting, as well as awakening. All of these things are covered in depth. And it starts with a 2.5-day workshop. You can join us live in Los Angeles when there's space in the room, or it's always available through online live video streaming. It is a step-by-step process to raise you into higher consciousness. And I guarantee, if you haven't started your awakening process, we will start it. If you have already started it, we will accelerate it. We will show you how to quickly identify and clear subconscious blocks. That's the demonstration I'm going to do live in a few minutes. I'm going to show you how to do all this, how to find the core. Quite simply, I'm going to give you all my best tips and processes and shortcuts, the exact same system I've used to create over 1,500 miracles for my clients. You're going to get all of that handed to you on a silver platter. Lots of hand-on development. And this course is packed with value. I know a lot of weekend seminars and trainings that may have one good idea or technique that they fill with fluff and expand out to a weekend. That's not this. You will see, you will get a life-changing insight, technique, idea, teaching every 5 or 10 minutes. There will be dozens of things, any one of which could totally change your life. And to make sure you don't miss anything, you get a very detailed manual. It's over 100 pages long, a full recording of the entire event, so you can go through it again as many times as you like, all included, as well as an option for professional certification. Also included is 90 days on the house access to my exclusive silver level VIP club. With silver level, you get access to regular practice groups. We usually do them every week. Live practice groups. You can join us, ask questions, practice what you learned, get healings. It's phenomenal. Every month I do a live demonstration and give away a private session to a member. There's a good chance you'll win. If you stay in the club and apply, everyone that stays in and applies wins free sessions with me. I do regular live block clearing and Q&A sessions. There's a huge archive of private one-on-one sessions you can listen to learn, to get more healing, to go deeper, as well as what I call my deep learning masterclasses. And so there's many of these. These are just a sample. There's over 40 on the site. They are master classes of high-def video trainings and PDF workbooks on all these different subjects. And this is just a few examples. Happiness, fear, anger, addiction, confidence, emotional eating, awakening, self-esteem, brain optimization, forgiveness, understanding personality types, dissolving pain. And there's a lot more. This is just a sample. All this is included. You get all of this, which I think is pretty amazing. And so you may ask, okay, Brent, what's this going to cost? All right. I'm going to answer you. Now, the truth is, I spent over 10 years and over $500,000 going around to all these different gurus and masters and healers and intuitives and workshops and intensives to reverse engineer their secrets. And if you've been around the New Age world for a little while, self-improvement, that you know there are plenty of $10,000 plus workshops and coaching programs that do not deliver anywhere near either the quality or the amount of content and hands-on experience you're going to get here. I know this because I've been through a lot of these programs. I've spent an enormous amount of money going around to some very well-known people. And I can guarantee you what I'm offering is so much more value. It's crazy. And so the full price, if you add up everything that's included, is actually only $6,612, which honestly, even at that price point, this is the best investment of your life. To learn how to live in the higher dimensions, to do instant healings. I mean, from my experience alone, there have been many lives saved and many more transformed. How much is that worth? You're going to get all of this, and I want to make it a no-brainer. I really want you to go through this program. So I'm going to drop the price all the way down to $497, or there's a payment plan available if you prefer that. And so you get the full 2.5-day live or online weekend intensive. You get a very extensive manual, a recording of the entire event, and an option for professional certification, as well as silver level in my VIP club for 90 days. 90 days of community, practice groups, block clearing calls, Q&A sessions, opportunity for deep learning, plus a whole longer list of bonuses I don't want to get into now because I want to get into our live healing. But all this is included, and I'm discounting it over 90% because I want to make this an easy decision. This should be a no-brainer. I'm also going to let you know that I'm going to take away all the risk in terms of the money. There is a 100% no questions asked money back guarantee. So I don't want there to be any risk on your part. If you think this won't be as good as I say, come see for yourself. If you disagree, you can have your money back. And it is a conditional money back guarantee with a simple condition. All you need to do is attend the entire first day of the training, either live at the hotel or online. That's it. If you attend the entire first day, just 4 hours, and you don't like it for any reason, you can get 100% of your money back, no questions asked. And you can keep the bonuses, which I don't want to talk about now. There's so many bonuses, it's crazy. Maybe I'll talk about them after the live healing. So no financial risk to you, 100% money back guarantee. It is a condition that you must come to the first day of the live training, just 4 hours. Because I know that when you see how powerful this is, how valuable it is, you're going to want the whole thing. I have total confidence in that. And so I encourage everyone, if you see the value here, which I hope you do, I know you want this, register now. There should be a little button beneath your webcast that says, yes, transform my life. Just click on that. It'll take you to a page with some more information about it. And then you can go ahead and check out, and you'll get everything showed up right in your web browser as well as in your email. Just let us know if you're coming live or online, and we'll take it from there. I think you'll be amazed. And so I know that many of you are ready to invest now. If you see the value here that I do, I know you want to do this. Just click the button on the webcast that says, yes, transform my life. I'm going to give everyone a minute here that wants to go do that. And if you want to stick with us, don't worry. Next is our live healing demonstration. So if anybody has any specific questions for me, please put them into the Q&A. I'll answer all the questions at the end. I will also be doing healings on everybody. If you have any healings you'd like to request, put them into the Q&A. But right now what I want to do is transition to our live healing demonstration. And so what I've done is I've selected one of the members from my VIP club, and I give away a private session like this every month to a member. And we broadcast it through a call like this so other people can listen in. However, I want you to know that you're not just listening. I'm also including you in all the healings I'm doing. And so all the block clearings we're doing, all the downloads, all the trauma clearings, all the healings, I will also be giving to you. So it's entirely optional, but if you know how to do muscle testing and you want to follow along and check yourself for the blocks, I will also be sending you all the same clearings and healings. So I encourage you to at least listen, if not follow along. I think you'll get tremendous value, even if you're not the person I'm working with. So let's go and make sure they are on the line right here, and we will transition in, and you will actually get to see me do some live healing on a real person with a real problem. All right, welcome everyone. Andrew, welcome to our Healathon. You ready to do a little bit of energy healing today?
Yes, thank you.
All right, so everyone knows Andrew is a lifetime member of our Awakening Intensive, so we're going to skip all the setup and explanation. He knows what we're doing, so we're just going to jump right into it. So Andrew, what would you like to work on today?
Yes, I'd like to work on the late night food addiction, cravings, potato chips, things like that.
All right, so going for the snacks late at night, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, when did this start?
Probably within the last year.
Okay. What do you think triggered it?
Probably stress, studying stress.
Okay. So emotional eating to cope with stress, huh?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right. Is it usually potato chips?
Yeah, or chocolate. Chocolate too.
Okay. So something that's a little sweet or salty, huh?
Sweet and salty, exactly.
All right. Awesome. So go ahead and calibrate your muscle test. Check yes and no. Let's make sure we're getting some clear answers.
No. Yep.
You good? Okay. I want you to check. I'm addicted to eating snacks late at night.
I'm addicted to eating snacks late at night. Yes.
Okay. I need to eat to process stress.
I need to eat to process stress. Yes.
Okay. I know how to process stress without eating.
I know how to process stress without eating. No.
Okay. One more time. I know how to process stress without eating.
I know how to process stress without eating. Yes.
Okay. And I know what it feels like.
And I know what it feels like. Yes.
Okay, good. I need to eat snacks to process stress.
I need to eat snacks to process stress. No.
Okay, good. So that was a big trigger. That was an easy one to clear. So it sounds like you're leaning towards carbs, right? Which is understandable. Most snack foods are carby, right?
Yeah.
And carbs often represent a lack of feeling loved. So especially the last year, where do you feel you're not getting the love, or maybe you used to get it or were expecting it?
First thing that comes to mind was family support.
Okay. I want you to check, I'm loved by my family.
I am loved by my family. No.
Okay. What do you think's going on there?
First thing that comes to mind is probably not living up to their expectations.
Okay. Let's check, I have to live up to their expectations to be loved.
I have to live up to their expectations to be loved. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a crappy one, huh? I want you to check. I have the Creator's perspective on unconditional love.
I have the Creator's perspective on unconditional love. No.
Okay, let's give you that. I have the Creator's perspective on unconditional love.
I have the Creator's perspective on unconditional love. Yes.
Good. And my perspective is the same.
And mine is the same. My perspective is the same. Yes.
Okay, good. I have to meet expectations to be loved.
I have to meet expectations to be loved. No.
Good. I have to meet my family's expectations to be loved.
I have to meet my family's expectations to be loved. Yes.
Okay. It's the only way.
It's the only way. No.
Okay. It's the best way.
It's the best way. Yes.
Okay. We'll release that. It's the best way.
It's the best way. No.
Okay. It's the only way for me.
It's the only way for me. Yes.
Okay. It's the only way for me.
It's the only way for me. No.
Okay, good. I have to meet my family's expectations to be loved.
I have to meet my family's expectations to be loved. Yes.
Okay. All right. I want you to check, I'm a human doing.
I am a human doing. Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what that means?
No.
So we all know we're, quote, human beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most of us run around acting like we're human doings. And so a lot of us have this transactional idea of love. A lot of the time we get it from our parents, or if we've had relationships where people used us or took advantage of us. And I think you've been through In Love for a Lifetime, right?
Yes.
Where I talk about the different stages of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
That transactional love is very stage one, very basic. It's a mutual fulfillment of needs. In other words, you do what I need and I do what you need, and then we love each other. Well, that's not really the kind of enlightened relationship we want, is it?
Not at all.
Right. And a lot of us that don't have a genuine feeling of value or beingness, we try to achieve that value through what we do. So that's what I mean when I say you're a human doing. But the fact is, do you love people that you love in your life because of what they do for you, or
No,
because of who they are?
It's because of who they are.
That's right. But yet you're playing this kind of unfair game where you allow yourself to love them for who they are, but you only allow yourself to be loved for what you do. And this is, of course, why a lot of relationships end in turmoil, divorce, etc. Because the mutual fulfillment of needs is great as long as it's working. But as soon as that's threatened, either by your needs changing or the person being unable to meet them, the love is gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not really what you want, is it?
Not at all.
Okay. So let's change that. I'm a human doing.
I am a human doing. Yes.
Good. My value is in my being.
My value is in my being. Yes.
Okay, good. And we look at this, we see this in more enlightened political systems, that there's nothing special you have to do to become a citizen and get the right to vote if you're born in the country, right? It's just the fact that you exist gives you that right. Thomas Jefferson wrote, "We believe that all men are created equal." So you see how you're kind of going against that, huh?
Yeah.
You're going, everyone else is equal, but not me. I have to go do something to make myself worthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's check. I have to meet their expectations to be loved by my family.
I have to meet their expectations to be loved by my family. Yes.
Okay. I vow to believe this.
I vow to believe this. Yes.
Okay. And my guess is that's a very comfortable way you found to feel loved. That, it kind of ties in with love languages. That when you feel you're doing things that are of value to people, only then do you allow yourself to feel loved. But that's unfair, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not fair at all.
Right. Because the fact is, the time you need that love the most is when you're not doing those things, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's check. I I have to meet my family's expectation. Or let's check I know how to mark the vow completed. Let's do that.
I know how to mark the vow completed. No.
Okay. One more time. I know how to mark the vow completed.
I know how to mark the vow completed. Yes.
Good. And I know what it feels like.
And I know what it feels like. Yes.
Good. The vow is completed.
The vow is completed. Yes.
Cool. I need to meet my family's expectations to feel loved.
I need to meet my family's expectations to feel loved. Yes.
Okay. We'll see if that's ready to go, okay? Let's check. I know how to feel loved without this.
I know how to feel loved without this. Yes.
Okay. And I know what it feels like.
And I know what it feels like. Yes.
Good. I can be loved without doing anything.
I can be loved without doing anything. No.
Okay. We'll change that, okay?
That's good.
So here's a question for you. And every healthy man that's listening, what does a woman have to do for you to be attracted to her?
Nothing. She's already.
There you go. It's just beingness, right?
Yeah.
So all I'm offering is it works the same, whether it's sexual love or family love or brotherly love, right? Have you seen that commercial about how the Greeks had 4 different kinds of love?
I haven't seen the commercial, but I've heard about it.
But it's a good one, right? They have 4 different words for it. The highest love is the word is agape. That's the love through service. But there's also sexual love and love of familiarity and brotherly love. And they're all valid ways of love. You don't have to do anything, do you?
No, not at all.
So let's just be fair to you, right? And really, it's not up to you if people love you or not. You know that, right? That's the grown-up lesson. I know we've talked about that before. And all you can do is be you. And people that choose to love you will. And the good news is, even when you totally F up, those people will still love you, won't they?
Yeah.
Right. You see this, obviously you're not a serial killer, but do you think mothers of serial killers still love them?
Probably, yeah.
They do. And though many say they should be put in prison or even executed, but they never stop loving them. So that's love. It's just there, right? Pretty simple. Not easy, but simple. The trouble is you and I are really good with things that are complex.
Yeah. Or making simple
right?
things really complex. I'm good at that.
Right. We take a simple thing and make it complex because that's how we validate ourselves through the doing. You see the connection?
Yeah.
Right. So I think in some ways you've been making things more complex than they needed to be to give you an excuse to take action and do something to feel loved. But the only one you're trying to convince there is yourself. No one else really cares, huh? And those that only have transactional love, that's fine, but just recognize it for what it is, right? Right. There is such a thing as transactional love, and it's fine to engage in when it makes sense. Okay, let's check. I need to meet my family's expectations to feel loved.
I need to meet my family's expectations to feel loved. No.
There we go. I am loved by my family.
I am loved by my family. Yes.
Good. And you know that whatever judgments that they may throw against you, that doesn't make them love you any less. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I remember one thing my mother told me, because in grammar school I got picked on and bullied a lot. What she said was, Brent, they wouldn't pick on you if they really didn't care about you. And at the time it was cold comfort. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Mom, I just want to be left alone. And she said, no, you don't. That's worse. Because if they really didn't care at all about you, they would just ignore you. So the fact that your family picks on you means they care. It's a little twisted, right?
Yeah.
But it's the fact, right? Yeah, good. I want you to check, I am loved.
I am loved. No.
Okay, we'll change that. I am loved.
I am loved. Yes.
Good. And do you know where there's only really 2 places in life where you can find 100% unconditional love?
Immediately I thought of a dog.
Well, that's close, but I wouldn't say it's 100. Dogs are very close to 100.
Yeah, because if you don't feed the dog, maybe it's an issue.
That's right. Yeah, 99.9, right? Animals love us in part because we're warm and we feed them. But one is from yourself. The other is from the divine, what we call God. Other than that, nothing else is going to measure up, right? Mm-hmm. So all I'm saying is cut yourself and your family a break. We're all human. We all, to some degree, behave with transactional love and conditional love. Doesn't mean they don't love you. It just means that's the only way they know how to show it. Right? Can a dog buy you a new car or flowers or a watch? No. But a dog can nuzzle up against you. So we all just show love in the ways we know how. So one of the ways your family shows you love is by picking on you. Crazy, but it really means they care, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Let's check.
Definitely memorable.
Yeah. It works, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's check. I have to eat snacks at night to go to sleep.
I have to eat snacks at night to go to sleep. Yes.
We'll release that. I have to eat snacks at night to go to sleep.
I have to eat snacks at night to go to sleep. No.
Awesome. I'm emotionally addicted to eating snacks late at night.
I'm emotionally addicted to eating snacks late at night. Yeah.
Okay, we'll let that go. It's just a pattern in the nervous system, right? Okay. I'm emotionally addicted to eating snacks late at night.
I'm emotionally addicted to eating snacks late at night. No.
Good. I'm physically addicted to eating snacks late at night.
I am physically addicted to eating snacks late at night. Yes.
Yeah. We'll let that go. I'm physically addicted to eating snacks late at night.
I'm physically addicted to eating snacks late at night. No.
Yeah, good. I'm comfortable in my new energy.
I'm comfortable in my new energy. Yes.
Good. My body is comfortable with its new energy.
My body is comfortable with its new energy. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Let's do a healing on you, okay?
Thank you.
If you want to connect up and send unconditional love, you're welcome to. So here we go. All right. All set. Did you feel anything?
Yes. Thank you.
What'd you experience?
Peace. I actually felt peace.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Less mental chatter.
Yeah. Anything you want to share with everyone else on the Healathon before we get back to the presentation?
Yeah, I wanted to share some amazing news, extraordinary news. Brent, my mom, before she worked with you on an allergy clearing, was deathly allergic to crab. And I have seen her literally blow up before working with you. And in one session with you afterwards, I'm happy to report that she went to the doctor to get a scratch test on the crab allergy and did what's called, I believe, a food-graded challenge. And her allergy is, she's no longer allergic. And I literally saw her the other night have shrimp and crab. So super success and very grateful for all your help.
And miracles happen, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
And it's really cool when you see it happen to somebody you love and you kind of, can witness that.
In some ways, it's even more powerful than it happens to you, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Any advice you'd want to give to people watching the Healathon who are kind of on the fence if they want to get into this stuff or not?
Yeah, definitely do it. There's, in my view, the miracles are amazing. And Brent, you're very talented. You've helped my life and my mom. And so for everyone listening, I would say if you, and especially if, you love yourself and you love your family, it's worth giving it a shot. I know for me, I was at desperation. So I was like, what do I have to lose? But even if you're not at that place, I hope everyone's not at that place. But if you're even on the fence, what do you have to lose? Give it a shot. It'll really change lives. So thank you, Brent.
Well, thank you for coming out and joining us today. And we're going to say goodbye to Andrew and get back to our Healathon. I got some free gifts to hand out to everyone. Then we'll be doing some Q&A and some healings for everyone. So thank you, Andrew. We'll see you soon. And I'll see everyone back in 1 second here. So there you have it. If you come through this program, again, 1 weekend, that's it. You can develop the skills of a master healer almost overnight. Took me years. I'll give it to you on a silver platter. It really is that fast. I mean, you'll be blown away by how easy it is. That I can guarantee. You will get the most powerful spiritual technology based on real science. I know there's a lot of people that claim, oh, it's based on science. Well, guess what? Most of those people don't know what they're talking about. I am a legitimate scientist and engineer. I got the diplomas on my wall. Heck, you don't believe me? I'll pull my transcripts from MIT. See for yourself. You will get the most powerful technology available anywhere. I'm going to show you how to do powerful instant healings. You'll learn that just on the first night, in the first couple hours. You will experience your genuine spiritual awakening. And if you haven't started down the awakening path, we're going to give you a huge head start. If you've already started it through 30 Days to Awakening or other sources, I'm going to accelerate the process for you, get you a lot closer to your goal. I'm going to share with you the one great lie that creates all suffering. It's really one great lie. And not only will I show you what it is, I'll show you how to dissolve it. Everyone who comes through this, you will be able to clear subconscious blocks in seconds. Guaranteed. I have never had someone that couldn't. Guaranteed, in seconds. You'll be able to install new codes in the subconscious mind instantly. Again, guaranteed. Every single person that's gone through it has been able to do this. I will show you how to raise the setting on your subconscious financial thermostat, because that's the only way to really increase your prosperity over the long run. I will show you how to identify the core blocks, the things hiding in the subconscious that create illness, injury, poverty, depression, etc., and how to identify and clear them for yourself and others. This is exactly what we'll be doing in the live healing in just a couple minutes. I want to show you and help you experience higher consciousness for yourself. We're going to have a deeper, longer, more powerful experience of consciousness shifting. We're going to do the movement. We're going to do some incredible stuff. Remember the blood cell pictures? That's what really happens when you do this. I know you want to experience that. I will show you how to clear harmful radiation from your body and electronics. Now, I will be doing this for you at the end of our webinar tonight. But I know you want to learn to do this for yourself, your family, your friends, your office, your home, in seconds for the rest of your life. That alone, that one thing can make such a huge difference for you. I'm also going to show you how to clear the negative energy around you that's sabotaging your personal power. This again, if you just learn this one thing, this can change your life. And almost everyone that goes through the training can actually notice the difference after you've cleared the energy. It's really incredible. I will explain to you the simple science that explains miracles. I will help you to raise your consciousness significantly and permanently in just one weekend. I mean, how awesome is that? As we've seen from the pictures, you will be able to radically increase and improve the health of every cell of your body. I'm going to offer to you the secrets, the shortcuts, the techniques that I've used, the exact system to create over 1,500 miracle healings that literally saved my mother's life, saved the life of my son. He almost died when he was in the womb. I've seen instant healings on HIV, on cancer, back pain, neck pain, anger, depression, addiction, you name it. And ultimately, I want you to be able to create the conditions for a steady stream of miracles flowing into your life. I know it took me 30 some years before I experienced my first miracle. Now, it's very rare that more than a day or two passes when I don't experience one. There are literally hundreds, thousands of miracles waiting for you. You just need the technology to learn how to access them. And so I know you want to do this. Why wouldn't you, right? It's a no-brainer. You get all of this for just $497 or 3 payments of $199. 100% money back guarantee. So I want to take away all the risk. So you can just click the button on your webcast that says, yes, transform my life. Or if you prefer to enter the URL, it's there on the screen. You can type in awakeningdynamics.com/special. And so I'm very quickly going to mention the bonuses. These are only available if you register during the webinar. Number one, you get the Abundance Toolkit, which is 3 pieces, 2 masterclasses of 7 videos and workbooks, 1 on abundance through benevolence, 1 on spiritual investing. This is really high-level stuff. I normally sell them for $197 each of these pieces. So this is a $600 value just in the first bonus. You get the Deep Theta guided meditations. These are encoded audios to help you access that Theta state. It's a wonderful training tool. And I'm going to give you 2 versions of 15 and 45 to accelerate your progress, to make it much easier for you to be a healer, a manifester, an intuitive, to master your life. I'm also going to give you an hour-long Secrets of Muscle Testing video training, so you can learn how to do that. So add it all up. Again, if you just want to pay the full price, I don't mind. $29.97 for the weekend training. And at that price, I think it's still the best investment you could ever make. I honestly believe that. You will get an extensive manual and a full recording. Why? I'm going to give you so much powerful content. No matter how smart you are, you can't take it all in the first time, because I want to give you as much value as we can possibly cram into a weekend. And so I give you an extensive manual as well as a full recording, so you can get everything out of it. Again, I want to give you as much value, as much life-changing power as we can possibly cram into one weekend for the lowest price possible that lets me to keep my business running. That is honestly and truly what I'm doing here. You also get 90 days silver level in my VIP club. That's your support, your community, practice groups, Q&A sessions, opportunities for deep learning, demonstrations. Heck, you can even win free privates with me, and a whole long list of bonuses I don't want to go through again. So again, I know that you see the value here. 100% money back guarantee. Everything here, all 7 tools, just $497, or 3 payments of $199, or type in awakeningdynamics.com/special. And you might be wondering, okay, Brent, that seems like a huge claim. You're really going to change my life that much in just a couple days? Transform the blood, teach me dozens of techniques, make me a healer, a block clearer, understand science, begin awakening? How is that possible? Well, I'm going to answer that. It is possible to achieve this in one weekend. There's a lot of things I've developed, technologies and approaches that no one else has. I'm just going to share one of them here. So here's just one. It's the miracle macros. And here's how it works. 50 years ago, if you needed software, you needed to either write it yourself or go hire someone to do it for you. There was no other choice. And so back then, getting custom software was difficult. Only experts could do it. It was expensive. One program could cost millions. And it was time consuming. It takes months or years to develop code from scratch. Okay. Nowadays, almost any software you need, you can download on the internet. It takes seconds, and most of it's inexpensive. So that's a huge difference, isn't it? What used to be expensive, difficult, time-consuming is now almost effortless, almost free. And so, as a result, it's quick, it's easy, it's inexpensive. Heck, a lot of apps just cost a few dollars. Totally different world, right? Well, guess what? This is exactly what I have done with energy healing, with the law of attraction, with awakening. When I first learned this stuff, it was all these complex steps and words and visualizations. Did you know it took me over 3 months of daily practice and private sessions and seminars before I did one healing? It'll cost me like, I don't know, $9,000, $10,000 just to do one healing. And it took me 7 years of full-time work to become a master healer. Well, that's because back when I first started doing this, learning healing and awakening was difficult. It was expensive and it was time consuming. But guess what? I've created one of the technologies you're going to get is called the miracle macros. And so I've spent years literally writing the energy code for doing healings and block clearings and space clearing and all that stuff. And I can download it straight into your subconscious mind. It makes learning a healing technique as easy as downloading a new app. And so how is it possible? Well, again, I've spent my whole life, my whole career developing the code for this. For instant healing, subconscious block clearings, intuitive readings, manifesting, space clearing, radiation clearing, and a lot more. And during this intensive, I will download it straight into your subconscious and show you how to use it. And literally doing healings is just as easy as downloading an app and running it. You will see for yourself. And so that's how, in just one weekend, I can teach you all of these things. Healings, clearings, awakening, the science, manifesting, intuition, how to dig, how to locate core blocks. And I wouldn't expect you'll be a master healer after just 2 days, but you might after 2 months. You will have the skill and power of a master healer within a matter of weeks or a few months, just by learning and applying with everything you're getting included here. And that's one of the reasons I give 90 days in the VIP club. I want you to go to the practice groups, to have opportunity for Q&A, to work with partners, to really master this. And so you're going to get world-beating technology and teaching, hands-on supervised practice, ongoing support, community, Q&A opportunities, live practice group, deep learning, all included, no extra charge. And so it includes the live ticket to the weekend, either again at the hotel or online, your choice. Extensive manual. You will use all of these 7 secrets, every one of them. You'll also get a full recording. And I want to mention, if you prefer to come live, but I'm not able to accommodate you, either because the room is sold out, I do use a small room to keep it intimate, or because we're doing an online only course, if you register and come online, I will give you a free retake to come live next time. So again, that's for those who, for whatever reason, if you want to come live to the hotel, but I can't accommodate you, please attend online and I will give you a free retake to come to the hotel next time and guarantee your spot. So I hope that helps. You will actually use all these 7 secrets. There will be a lot of hands-on practice. Day 1, we're going to cover awakening and instant healing. Everybody gives and receives a healing on the very first day. And we always see miracles happen the first day. And I would love to hear about your miracle too. Day 2, we show you how to talk to the subconscious, how to do block clearings and downloads, and how to access your intuition. We also cover how to locate the core blocks. On day 3, we cover manifesting and embodiment, as well as a grab bag of applications like the space clearing, the radiation clearing, the science of healing. So lots of hands-on supervised practice. And you will also get 90 days of support and community in the VIP club. We do practice groups every week. We have frequent Q&A sessions, block clearing calls. I do live demonstrations. I give away privates to the members. And there's a huge archive of what I call deep learning. Master classes, recorded calls, recorded sessions, articles, videos, special material. All of it for just $4.97 or 3 payments of $1.99. Just click the button that says yes, transform my life. It should be on the webcast. Or type in the URL, awakeningdynamics.com/special. Pretty easy. And of course, you're covered by the no questions asked 100% money back guarantee. All you have to do is attend the first day of the live class. And if you don't like it, if you don't feel it's worth twice what you paid, just let me know. You can drop out and get all your money back, and you can still keep the bonuses. And I want to make this a no-brainer because I think that you really need to learn this stuff. It will change your life so much. Literally, almost every day of my life, I get emails from students thanking me. Oh my gosh, Brent, I'm so glad I did your program, and tell me about the incredible things they've learned. So I want to make it a no-brainer. I want to take away all the financial risk. But you need to make your commitment if you want to get the lowest price point and all the bonuses and the money back guarantee. You can come back at any time if you want to pay the full price, the $66.12, no problem. I'm happy to accommodate you. But if you want to take advantage of the $4.97 or the 3 payment offer, if you want to get all the bonuses, everything included, you need to make your investment during the webinar. So again, just click the button or put in the URL. I'm sorry. It looks like we were having trouble with sound. So I didn't realize that. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully you could see me talking. This is not pre-recorded. I'm here live. I apologize for that. Let me know. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. I'm going to repeat what I just said. It's not very much. All right, all good. So let me repeat this little slideshow. So it's pretty easy. You really didn't miss much. You really didn't need to hear anything I was saying, but I'll go through it again. Apologies. And just so you know, this is what happens during a live webinar, right? Anybody that is interested in asking a question, if you go down to the bottom of your Webinar Jam window, you can, you know, where you've been putting in the chat, if you click the three little buttons, it'll then show you ask a question or chat. If you want me to answer your question on the broadcast here during the live event, put it in as a question. That will come straight to me and it'll be flagged in the chat. That way, it's nothing personal. I don't want to take the time to read through all the chat before I start answering your questions and doing healings. So do it as ask a question. It'll be flagged on the chat and I will see it and I will make sure to either answer your question or do a healing request. So again, this is if you have questions you want me to answer on the ebook, not for sale at any price. You can't buy it on my website. I don't bundle it with telesummit offers or fund drives or anything else. The only way to get this is to be here during the live heal-a-thon. So if you're interested, go ahead and click the button. It should be on your page and you can download that. And just wanted to emphasize that every single person that registers during the live webinar, I'm going to give, I'm getting reports that the sound is cutting out. So I'm going to hit pause here for a second. Everyone, please let me know if you can hear me okay. As far as I can tell, the sound is working. But if anybody's having trouble, sometimes one or two people will have trouble with the sound. It might be on your end. All right, let me try killing my video. So I'm going to turn the video off. Okay. All right, so we're okay? All right. I'll try turning the video back on. All right, so thank you for letting me know. Just so everyone knows, occasionally, if there's one or two people with trouble with the sound or the video, it's probably on your end. If everyone's having trouble with it, please let me know. There's something going on, right? That's what I want to know. So I'm getting, looks like we're okay. Just so everyone knows, if you just reload the broadcast page, you just click refresh on your browser, that should fix any problems. In the chat room. So if you're having any AV issues, just click reload or refresh. That should take care of it. And just so you know, Chrome tends to work best with Webinar Jam. Supposedly it works with everything, but that's what I hear. So if you're having trouble, you might try Chrome. So a couple of things I was saying earlier. I'll let the cat out of the bag. JJ is my wife. So he got my wife earlier in the chat room. I used to have one of my students come into my office, but with the whole global viral pandemic, that didn't seem like such a hot idea. So you get me and my wife. So, but I'm here now behind the keyboard. She's off taking our son home. All right. So I think we're all good on the technical issues. Awesome. So here's what's going to happen. Anyone that registers today, I'm going to give you a free one-on-one private session with me. So that's only for those that register during the live webinar. So that won't be available during if you watch the replay later. But those that register live tonight, you will get a free one-on-one session with me. Here's what's going to happen. Register tonight. We will see your registrations. My assistant will reach out to you probably tomorrow at the latest by Friday. And he's going to say, hey, congratulations on your registration. Just want to make sure you got all the materials and links. And he's also going to send you a little link to a very short form to get your free private. It'll be questions like, what is your phone number, email, when are you available? Fill that out. Shouldn't take you more than a minute. And then he'll get back to you. And my goal is to try to get in a one-on-one with every single person that registers tonight before the live event. that is what, 2.5 weeks out. So I've kept a lot of my schedule open for the next 2 weeks, specifically for that. So my goal is, again, to try to give every person that registered tonight, I will give you a free one-on-one with me. And I'm going to try to get everybody in ahead of the event. Because the purpose of the one-on-one is to work with you energetically. We'll cover muscle testing. I'll do some energy healing processes on you to make sure you're really ready to hit the ground running and get everything you can out of the upcoming event. Honestly, I'm not aware of any high-level teacher that gives away private sessions so freely, but it's really important to me to get to know everyone as a person, because everyone has their story. Everyone is looking for different things here. I want to know, who you are, why you're here, what you're looking for, and I want to work with you a little bit to get you as ready as possible. So I hope that makes sense. We've also had some questions about the live room. So here's how it works. Pretty straightforward. Anybody that registers for the online event, you will get a live ticket to the online. Clearly, I'm not doing any live rooms right now. I think it would be dangerous and also illegal. California is going to have to be in what they call phase 4 reopening before I can do that. But when I do have the live room available, everyone that registered and came online will have an opportunity to get a free repeat. So that's how it's going to work. I don't know when that's going to be. That's not up to me. It's up to people with much fancier job titles. So probably the governor, maybe the mayor. But so when California is in phase 4 reopenings, I will reintroduce the live rooms. And anybody that wants a free retake that has done it online during the pandemic will get it. So hope that makes sense. We've also had a couple people ask about the recordings. And so what's going to happen is, for everyone that attends, you're going to get a full recording of the whole event. You're also going to get a big, thick manual. It's over 100 pages long. And so I would encourage you, attend as much as you can live. Ideally, if you can be there live the whole time, that's the best. But if you have unavoidable conflicts, right? If there's something you just can't move, you can catch up on what you missed on the recordings. And if anybody can't make the upcoming dates, I will give you all the recordings and materials and a free transfer. So the next live event is probably going to be February. So for whatever reason, if you can't make it December 4th to 6th, let me know. We'll give you all the recordings and materials and all the bonuses and a free transfer. In addition, I understand that there's really two kinds of people. Some people will say, hey, Brent, please don't make me do any homework, right? I don't want to read anything or have to learn anything. I just want to show up for the live event. If that's you, great. Just show up for the live event. That's how most people do it. No problem. Some of you may want to get a head start. And so if you are really psyched to get started and you don't want to wait 2 weeks for the live event, right? If you're like, Brent, I'm going to be really bored next weekend at Thanksgiving because I got nowhere to go and nothing to do, I will happily give you also all the recordings from the last live intensive we did in September. So if you want to get started early, that's an option too. Now, these are all options, right? Don't feel overwhelmed. You don't have to do any of this. And if you have any questions about this stuff, just email support. Questions after tonight. I'm going to put it in the chat room. Just email support@awakeningdynamics.com. And we'll take care of you. So I hope that answers all the questions. Okay, so I also want to let everyone know that evidently the PayPal integration is not working. So if anybody wants to use PayPal and you're having trouble with it, I posted the links in the chat room. I'm happy to copy and paste them for you. So let me see if I can find that. So if anybody is having trouble with the checkout or wants to use PayPal, let me know. I can paste another link in the chat room. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to read off the first names. I've had a bunch of people ask me to confirm. I'm just going to read the first names of people. Let's see. We have registrations. Yeah, Ron, Joseph, Sonia, Ernest, Paul, Kristen, Michelle, Melissa, Denise, Oscar, Ralph, Tisha. So if that was your first name, if you want to put your last name in a private chat, I'll look it up specifically. And I think we also have Kate, but that would be a different site. So just give me 1 second here to answer her question. Long story that you all don't need to know about, but my last hack horribly mangled my website and deleted my entire YouTube channel that had over 1,000 hours of videos on it, lost forever. And so we've been really scrambling to put up a new website and get things working again. So, not your fault, but just hang in there. We will absolutely take care of you. It's just things may be a little glitchier than usual, but 100% will take care of you. And for anybody that has any trouble, if you just let us know, right? If you're trying to register and having a problem, just email support@awakeningdynamics.com and say, hey guys, I tried to register during the Healathon, but this happened. And I will absolutely honor the bonuses and the free session and all that, right? So if you're having any trouble, if you can't register through the button or the website, let me know. Just email support@awakeningdynamics.com and we will take care of you. I'll get on the phone with you and take your credit card over the phone if we have to. Okay, so all right, and also we have registrations from Kathleen and Harvey. So anybody else, if it didn't come through, let me know. And Kate, I'm going to follow up with you privately, as JJ told me that there was an issue. So anybody that wants me to follow up privately, just send your email in a private message, and I'll follow up with you. All right. So just want to make sure there's no confusion about what's going to happen during the weekend. All right. So anybody that wants to register, you should see a little button on your webcast. So just click that. It says, yes, transform my life. That should take you to the checkout page. So Suzanne and anyone else that's trying to register, give that a shot. If you're having trouble with it, post your email in the chat room and or email support@awakeningdynamics.com, and I will follow up with you after the event tonight. So we'll take care of you. So anybody that's having any trouble with it, I will follow up and take care of you. All right, so I think we got everything answered about the nuts and bolts. So let's start answering some questions for everybody. All right. So first we had some questions that came in earlier that JJ prepared for me. Okay, question from Callie. Okay, request for healing. Okay, here's what I'm going to do with everyone. If you have a question, I'm going to read the question and then give the answer. If it's a request for healing, I'm just going to say your name and request for healing. I'm not going to share that with everybody because I want to protect your privacy. I just want to let you know that I got it. And some of you, I may do it on the broadcast. Others, I may do it in a private message. I'll be doing both. So I may confirm it on the broadcast, or I may type it into the chat room. So let's see what we got here. Okay, request for healing from Callie. I gotcha. Okay. Okay, Jenna asks, did I understand correctly that you'll give out the recordings of the last intensive if you want to watch them ahead of time? Yes, Jenna, absolutely. So if you're the kind of person that wants to look at the material before the live event, I'm happy to share that with you. I don't send that out by default because most people don't want to do any homework, and that's fine. I totally get that. But if you want it, if you want to go through the material ahead of time, I'm happy to share. Just ask, support@awakeningdynamics.com. Okay, and a question from Jim. He asked, should we get anything when we register? Yeah, Jim, you should get a PDF file. So after you register, it should appear on the page to click on the PDF. If you miss it, don't worry about it. It should also be emailed to you. And my assistant will also send it to you through email additionally as a third backup, like 3 or 4 times over the next 2 weeks. So we're going to send all the information to you at least 3, 4, 5 times just to make sure you get it. So it's pretty simple. It's just a PDF. I think it's called Secrets for Higher Dimensional Living. And it has just a few instructions, a link, and a password. That's all you need to get in, to get your bonuses, to get to the broadcast page, to join the live event. It's all right in there. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Zena asked, does everyone have to go through the Dark Night of the Soul after taking this course? Really, Zena, that would be really unusual. I've never heard of that happening. And so I want to make a distinction between a healing crisis versus a Dark Night of the Soul. Now, some people do go through a healing crisis. Again, it's unusual, less than 10%, but a healing crisis is what happens when you heal and shift too much too quickly when you're not used to it. It's very much like if you're out of shape and you go to the gym and lift heavy weights, you're going to get sore, right? And so a healing crisis is kind of like that. If you're not used to doing so much so fast with the subconscious, we're going to be making a lot of shift very quickly. So some people have a healing crisis, but that usually just lasts a few days and is not a big deal. You know, you might be a little low energy, maybe have a little bit of a headache. It usually doesn't get much worse than that. A Dark Night of the Soul is a whole different thing. A Dark Night of the Soul is where your whole life falls apart, right? That, it's like a bad country western song, right? You lost your job, your wife left you, your dog died, and you crashed your truck all on the same day. So that's, when everything just goes horribly wrong. I've never heard of that happening right after this training. I suppose it's possible. I've taught, 8,000 people over the years. I can't say it's impossible because a Dark Night of the Soul is a soul choice. So really, I'm not sure how much control we have over that as humans. I think there's the higher part of us decides that. So I suppose it's possible. I've just never heard of that. Really, the only negative effects that may happen is a very temporary healing crisis because we're shifting so much so quickly. So I hope that makes sense. All right, Christina asks, can healings be requested for people who are not here? I'll try to give a short answer. A formal healing, no. The reason being that in order to do a sort of formal healing process, you need permission. So if someone has given me permission, explicit permission to do a healing during the webinar, the answer would be yes. So, let's say your brother-in-law, has, headaches, but he has to work tonight and can't be here during the heal-a-thon, but he gave you permission to request for him. That's fine. But other than that, I would say no. One thing we're going to cover during the weekend is I'm actually going to teach you 2 different healing processes. One, what we call healing, requires permission. So someone has to say, yes, I give you permission to do the healing on this or that. So that's kind of what I call a formal healing. That does require permission. We're also going to teach what we call sending unconditional love. This is what you do when you can't get the permission for whatever reason. So someone that doesn't believe in this, or they don't speak your language, or maybe someone you don't know personally. So I'm going to actually show you 2 different healing processes. One you use when you can get permission, the other when you can't. So I know that's a little complex, but that's the best answer I can give. Okay, healing request from Judith. Healing request from Joseph. Healing request from Latoya. Okay, question Latoya asked, how do you align your mind, body, emotion with your energy centers to manifest? Really, I would say you're in the right place. That's what this training is for, is to show you exactly how to do that. The exact process is going to be a little different for each person because I'm going to give you a lot of different tools. You're going to get more in an hour this weekend than you'll get in a whole weekend most other places. So we're going to cover levels of consciousness. We're going to cover the awakening, which on its own is life-changing. But that's just to getting started. We're going to show you how to do healings, how to send unconditional love. We're going to show you how to clear blocks. We're going to show you how to do subconscious downloads. We're going to show you how to do intuitive readings. We're going to show you how to communicate with the subconscious. We're going to explain how the subconscious works. We're going to show you how to get to a theta wave to manifest. We're going to show you, we're going to do an exercise for the consciousness shifting. We're going to go a little longer, a little deeper during the weekend than we did tonight. We're going to do a lot more of the movement feedback holography. I'm going to show you how to do space clearings. We're going to do an exercise on radiation clearing. We're going to talk about how to pull curses and retrieve soul fragments. So there's a lot of stuff you're going to get. The exact combination of what things you use to get to your goal, that's going to be a little different for each person. So some people might need a lot of digging, like you saw me do with Andrew, to get into the subconscious and clear blocks. Other people need to do a lot of the movement. That's another great way to work with the subconscious. That was a little video you saw with Jake. So we're going to do that too. For some people, the quantum field meditation, the consciousness shifting, that will be enormously important for you. For some people, you might want to do a few privates with me. For some people, it might be the space clearing. For others, it could. So again, I'm giving you all these different processes and techniques because I want every person to come away with what they need. The goal is not that you use all of them every day. That would be way too much. So we're going to show sending unconditional love and all these things, right? The goal is to give you what you need to take you forward in your life, which is probably not everything, right? It's probably just going to be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 things you learn that you're really going to latch onto and use right away. And maybe the others you back burner and come back to. So I hope that makes sense. Hope that answers you. Okay, next question. Okay, Melissa asked, I'm from a very old and wealthy Southern family who lost it all after Civil War. Okay, could I have trauma lingering that keeps wealth from happening now? Melissa, absolutely. In fact, if I were to work with you one-on-one in a private, that's probably the first thing I'd want to do if money was your goal. That a lot of us have generational trauma as well as mass consciousness trauma. The big ones are the Great Depression, World War II, to a lesser extent, World War I and the Civil War, at least if you live in America. So if your family was here during the Civil War, especially if they were aligned with the South, absolutely. That could be enormously powerful for you. That'd be one of the first things I'd want to do with you. Okay, request for healing from Mihan. Okay, Caroline in Carolina asks, oh, that's clever. How much extra is the 90 days VIP thing? I'm a little skeptical. We get all that and the private and the bonuses and the intensive and everything and 90 days of live events. It's not. It actually is all included. And the reason I do that is simple. That, I've done a lot of these different kinds of programs. I've done hundreds, if not 1,000 different weekend intensives and seminars and mastermind and mind power, all this stuff, right? One of my beefs with it is there's all these programs where they're so happy to take your money, run you through a weekend and rubber stamp your certificate, but then they throw you to the street. That you're somehow supposed to figure out how to embody this and apply it all on your own. Ridiculous. Most people can't do it. So most people come in with high expectations and leave really disappointed. I'm not going to do that to you. That when you come through the live intensive, for one, you're going to get all the recordings and materials, because I hope you go through it again. There's way more content and technique and insights than even Einstein could process in one sitting. So there's lots and lots of material because I want everyone to get what they need. But after that, you're going to get 90 days of live events and support calls to help you to integrate it and apply it and practice it. And that's all included. The reason is I want you to succeed with this because you're going to get a lot of value just from coming through the weekend for sure. No doubt about that. You're going to get a lot of value, but you're going to get so much more if you can actually apply it and integrate it and use it in your life. And that's what it's for. Well, that's the primary thing it's for. You'll also get access to my whole masterclass library. So there's 38 masterclasses, each of which is usually 7 lessons, 7-ish lessons on all these different topics. There's one on anger, one on procrastination, one on emotional eating. There's 38 of them. So all that is also included. So yeah, it really is all included. Yep. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, request for healing from Kim. Okay, Betty asks, I donated to KPFK a few years ago to get one of Brent's programs. I'm not sure which one. Is this the same thing or is it different? Betty, if it was a few years ago, it's 100% different. That I don't think I've ever offered the live event on KPFK. That almost everything I've done through the radio stations has been a downloadable program that you do on your own, like 30 Days to Awakening or The End of Suffering. Those are different. So the live experience is more in depth. And of course, it's a live event, right? And you're going to get a free private with me, plus all the bonuses, plus 90 days of support calls and practice groups all included. And right now we're doing between 2 and 3 practice groups every week. So during those 90 days, you're going to get something like 30-ish live events to ask questions and practice and get feedback and to help you integrate it. So I hope that answers your question. Request for healing from Jan, request for healing from Iodeji. Okay, a couple questions from Deepa. Deepa asks, I was at your meetup last weekend and you mentioned your mentor was the inspiration for the movie Limitless. Can you tell us more? Were you part of the movie? Deepa, I was not part of the movie, unfortunately. That happened just before I met him. And what happened was that for those who've seen the movie Limitless, that came out about 2010-ish, something like that. It's the one about the guy that takes this magic pill and it like gives him superpowers and he makes all this money and like becomes this phenomenal machine, right? Most people think it's fantasy. It's not. That was based on my mentor, Carl. Now, I will admit, in the movie, they changed it. There is no magic pill, right? That was something they made up for the movie. But that was actually inspired by my late mentor about his work. And I think they made a TV series out of it too. So in the movie and the TV series, it's a magic pill. Just so you know, there is no magic pill, right? But it's based on my late mentor, Carl. And so I'm very proud, even though I had no formal role in the movie, I am the only person in the entire world that he ever gave his full permission to teach and practice his work. So if unfortunately he passed away 2 years ago. So working with him, no longer an option unless you know a good medium or run a seance. But that's just what I'm going to teach you. That this is the stuff, specifically the quantum field entrainment we did, the consciousness shifting and the movement. That is what inspired Limitless. And it was written by one of his other students. But no, I wish I would have been, but I was not part of that. So other questions? Let's see. Deepa asks, okay, OMG, I live in India. And I've been in the room with masters and gurus, but never had an experience like the consciousness shifting. Can we do it again tonight? Deepa, depending on the timing, if we still have time, I don't want to run over the 3-hour mark. That's kind of, I want to finish up by that point at the latest. If we get through all the questions and healings and we still have an extra 5-10 minutes, I'm happy to. So happy to do that again, maybe at the end after the radiation clearing, if we have time. But, I know a lot of people are on the East Coast. There's a few people in Europe. It's really late. So if we're running over, we won't. But if we have time, I'm happy to. Will we be doing it during the weekend intensive? Yes. I will be talking a lot more about it. And we will do a longer, deeper session during the weekend intensive. And she says, OMG again, my mind is blown. Good. My mind was too. It's really amazing stuff. Okay, request for healing from Sheila. Okay, Jeff, question. He asked, I've already signed up. Sounds like just what I need. Awesome, Jeff. I am not a techie, and I'm worried about an online class. Do I need to get a new computer or anything? No, you don't. So for Jeff and anyone that's concerned, it's actually very easy. What's going to happen is you're going to get a file. You should get it when you purchase. It'll be emailed to you like 5 times over the next 2 weeks just to make sure you get it, right? I'll just keep sending it to you. Just make sure you got it. There's a link and a password to instructions. Everything you need to know, the timing, blah, blah, blah. Then there's what we call the broadcast page, which is just, again, it's just a link and a password. And you just go there, and we use a combination of YouTube and Zoom. We use YouTube when I'm doing lectures and presentations, and we use Zoom for anything interactive or video Q&As. And so, I don't need to get into the whys, but it's very easy. It'll run on an old laptop, so no, you don't need a new computer. You can run it on a desktop, a laptop, a tablet, a phone if you need to. The only thing I'd recommend is I'd recommend a computer because the chat is going to be part of it. And it's a lot harder to do the chat on a tablet or a phone without a keyboard. But it's not required. So it's not difficult at all. My mother is 76 years old, and she has trouble running her toaster. And she went through this a few years ago, and she did okay. So if my mom can handle it, I know you can. All right. And he asked, did Brent say you get a free retake in the live room? When will it be? Yes, you will get a free retake in the live room. Unfortunately, I don't know when that will be. It will be after California goes into stage 4 reopening, where we're allowed to have groups of strangers who have come in from all over the place congregate in an indoor space in close quarters for 3 days without too much danger to everyone involved. So that's up to California. But yes, everyone that registers, if you want, I will give you a free retake in the live room. Okay. Christina asks, I have a newborn son, 4 months old. Would love any information on how to give him a good start regarding his subconscious well-being and empowerment. Good, great question, Christina. I applaud you, because I think that doing this kind of work is one of the absolutely most important things you can do as a parent. And so at 4 months old, there's not much to do with him. The one that needs the work is you and his father, if your father's willing. So what I would do with a child that age, just send them unconditional love. That's really all they need. And that'll be one of the things we're going to show you how to do. That'll be one of the topics on Friday. On Friday, just in the first couple hours, you're all going to give and receive healings, and you're all going to learn how to do group healings, and you're all going to learn how to send unconditional love. So that's just Friday, right? So just send your newborn son unconditional love, but you and or his father, you're the ones that probably would benefit from doing the digging. So doing the subconscious clearing and all that. I generally wouldn't start working directly with the children until they're maybe 5, 6-ish. There's exceptions, but up until that point, just work on the parents. And my personal opinion, possibly the greatest gift you can give to your children is your own awakening. Because, Christina, I don't know if this is your first child, but those of us that are parents know that after a certain age, your kids don't hear anything you say, but they're still hugely influenced and impacted by your energies and your actions. So what you tell them is going to go in one ear and out the other. But who you are, the energy you radiate, your presence, your beingness, that will impact them for the rest of their lives. So your own journey of consciousness and healing and awakening is really the greatest gift you can give to him. So work on yourself, work on his father if he's willing, and send your child unconditional love, and I think you do great. Bill asks, the video with the guy about the money was impressive, but have you ever seen a physical healing miracle happen during one of these weekends? Yeah, Bill, absolutely. In fact, I'm not sure I've ever had a weekend where we didn't see some kind of miracle healing on the first day. Now, I want to be clear. I want to be honest. I'm not selling a magic wand that's going to fix every problem you have 100% in 5 minutes. There is no such thing. But if you get enough people doing healings, you're guaranteed to see miracles. And if you work with this, just applying what you've learned, especially if you come to the practice groups that are included, or do privates with me or do the advanced training. But if you just practice and apply what you've learned, it's pretty much a guarantee you will see miracles happen. But here's the thing. We don't get to pick the miracles. They pick us. So no honest person can promise you, hey, by Saturday or Sunday or Thursday, X, Y, or Z will be completely gone or fixed or whatever, right? No honest person can say that. What I can give you is a huge volume and clarity of teachings, techniques, processes, exercises that are phenomenally powerful that will move you ahead in your life. Whether or not it solves a particular problem in the first 3 days or 3 weeks, I don't know. It might, it might not. It might, but it might not. So I hope that makes sense. I just want to be honest, because there are a lot of seminar leaders that make a lot of promises and deliver you a pile of garbage and hot air. I don't want to do that. I want to tell you exactly what this is and tell the truth about it. So I hope that helps. Okay, request for healing from Linda, request for healing from William, request for healing from Linda, request for healing from Ernest. Okay, request for healing from Kate, from Joseph, to Susan, Sharon, Latoya. Okay, Christina says her brother's permission to do healing for diabetes. Gotcha. Oops, shouldn't have said that, but hope that's okay. That's why we only use first names. Okay. Christina asked about clearing the block. You know what? Come to the weekend. You'll be able to do it yourself. That's probably the best thing. Okay. Request for healing from Linda, from Val. Okay. Kate asks, how does it work doing it in another time zone and practicing? Do we use Zoom? We use Zoom, and we put people with partners to call on the phone or through Skype or FaceTime. And so one of the things that's going to happen is after you register, again, first thing, you'll hear from my assistant. He's going to make sure you got all the materials, the link to the login and all that. If you register tonight, you'll also get a link to fill out the application to get the free session. So that's the first thing that'll happen. Generally a few days ahead of the event. So like December 1st-ish, you'll hear from one of my course assistants that will say, hey, who wants a partner? I would encourage everyone to get a partner. It's not required, but I would encourage everyone to get a partner. There are a couple partner exercises we do during the weekend. And so we use Zoom for some of the exercises, and we use YouTube for some. And sometimes we do them as a group on Zoom. Other times we do it where I'm talking you through it and you're on the phone. So don't worry, it's actually very straightforward. You know, I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I've taught hundreds of these things. We got it down. It's pretty easy, and we're going to explain everything step by step. We'll always tell you exactly where we are. You know, we got a chat room going. So there's a lot of support for you. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay, request for healing from Joseph. Okay, request for healing from Helen. Okay, request for healing from Christopher. Stephen asks, can we work with hoarding and cluttering? Absolutely. In fact, one of the master classes that you're going to get is on procrastination. And you may be saying, hey, Brent, my problem isn't procrastination, it's cluttering and hoarding. No, it's procrastination. That you know how to do it, you're just not doing it, right? That's procrastination. So for most people, 90% of the time, you learn there's a series of block clearings and teachings on how to overcome procrastination that will do the trick. So it's interesting you asked that, Stephen, because I'd say that hoarding and cluttering is one of the most common things I work with people. Like top 4, maybe. I know that sounds surprising, but it's really, really common. It's one of the most common things. So yeah, I know a lot about it. And for most people, it's just a matter of procrastination. So yeah, there's some subconscious work to do, as well as some coaching and some processes to apply. But absolutely, I think we can get back that. Okay. Request for healing from Jin. Request for healing from Lala. All right. Denise asks, can plantar fasciitis be healed? Yes, it can. I want to answer that generally. That if you ask me the question, hey, Brent, can you heal X, Y, or Z? The answer is this. Absolutely. But sometimes the healing requires just a healing process. And that's what we're going to do here tonight. So we're going to do just the healing process. Some problems, especially if they're really big ones, are going to require some subconscious clearing. And so a simple healing won't be enough. And that's exactly why I want you to come to the training, because I'm going to show you how to get in and do what we call digging to clear out the subconscious. That was like the demo I did with Andrew today. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So a lot of issues, we do need to do some subconscious clearing before they'll heal. Other things, we do the healing, we do some subconscious clearing. You may still need some physical action too. So I'm not saying Denise or anyone in particular needs this, but I've suffered from plantar fasciitis. And I went to a physical therapist, and they did like lasers and ultrasound and other stuff. It didn't help. Then I went to Terry, who was the woman that did the healing on my elbow, and we did some subconscious clearings, and she did a healing. And it still didn't get better. But right after that, I was at a practice group, and I was complaining about my plantar fasciitis. I'm like, I went to these doctors and physical therapy. I even had a session with Terry, and it's not going away. And one of the other students said, hey, Brent, let me show you a stretch. And she showed me a calf stretch. And I started doing it. And within a week, my plantar fasciitis was gone. And so here's what I want you to take away from that. I had to do all those things to get healed. So the physical therapy alone didn't do the trick because I had subconscious stuff. The subconscious clearing and the healing on their own also didn't do the trick, but they cleared the way. So after I did the subconscious clearing and the healing with Terry, that on its own didn't help me. But then I brought into my life, I manifested someone that gave me the rest of the piece, which was the specific stretch. And after the subconscious was clear and after I'd done the healing, I did the stretch and it all went away and I haven't had any problems since. So again, don't see this as a recipe for plantar fasciitis. Everyone's a little different. A lot of people recover just from physical therapy. Some people, you just do a healing, they get better, right? Other people, you do some subconscious clearing, they get better. I needed all of them. And this is what I want everyone to know. This is the truth about healing. Some stuff will heal instantly tonight during the heal-a-thon. One of the troubles is there's really two challenges. So I want everyone to know I'm not holding back tonight, right? So I'm not holding back. But there's two challenges we have. One is, as you know, for especially big stuff in your life, you got to get into the subconscious, right? So I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's unlikely that I just do a healing on you and you go from being totally broke to having tons of money overnight. Possible, probably not going to happen. Why? Money is a deep-seated issue. Almost certainly you have to do some subconscious clearing. So if you want to make a big difference financially, it's going to take more than a 2-minute healing process. You got to get into the subconscious, right? And that's what the weekend is for, to show you how to do that. And after you've done the subconscious clearing, sometimes there's still action to be taken. So just as an example, my frozen elbow instantly healed with Terry. Took an hour. Never gave me trouble again. The chronic pain I was in did not heal instantly. That took a couple years to work through. And I needed yoga and physical therapy and lasers and stretching and all this stuff, right? But altogether, it worked. I got better. But it took a long time. Money also took me a couple years. It wasn't just one session and I started making money, but for some people it is. So for Michael, it was. He didn't have a lot of blocks. We did a 15-minute healing. Because what I showed you earlier, that clip, that was just a portion of it. The whole session was 17 minutes. So I showed you like 90 seconds of it, 2 minutes, something like that. The whole session was 17 minutes. So 17 minutes of subconscious clearing and $130,000 showed up in his life. Wow, right? For some people, it is that easy, not for everybody. But I will give you the tools, the techniques, the processes, the teachings that can get you there. For some of you, will get there very quickly and easily. For others, it'll be a more difficult road. But the question isn't whether or not you can get there. I will give you, I think, everything you're going to need to get there. The only question is, are you willing to work it? Are you willing to practice? Are you willing to apply it? Are you going to give up before you get to your goal? That's the only question. So if you don't give up and you actually use and apply this, you're going to get there. For some, it'll be quick. For some, it'll be slow. But you can get there. As if you're like me, I was a train wreck. I had so many problems in my life. Oh my God. Right? Back pain, social anxiety. My first wife left me shortly after I had that miracle. I mean, I could go on and on. You know, I've had migraines. I've had cancer. I had one of my best friends die of a drug overdose. A woman I was dating was killed by a drunk driver. I mean, just, you know, it's just on and on and on. So I had a lot of stuff to work through. It took a while. My goal is to make it as fast and as easy and as inexpensive as we can. That's why I'm here. So that's the truth. I'm going to see what else questions we got. Okay. Question for healing from Luce. Okay. Lalani asks, is it possible for healing of pain or numbness in the private area? Yeah, absolutely. Again, anything can be healed. How long it's going to take, how much subconscious clearing you need, I'm not sure. That'll be a little different for each person. But I want to give you all the tools and knowledge so you have everything you need to get there. But again, I'm going to do the best I can tonight. I want to finish what I said earlier, that there were two challenges. One is the subconscious, right? That's the biggest thing. Big issues in your life are going to take some subconscious clearing. And that's what the weekend is for. The second challenge is exchange. And we're going to talk a lot more about this and other aspects of healing during the weekend, but exchange is important. One of our obstacles here at the Heal-a-thon is this is a free event. And so there's no formal exchange you're providing. And so again, I'm not holding back, right? I'm going to do the best I can with every person requesting healing. But there is a law of exchange that when you want something important, you need to provide something in return. So, and I'm not trying to guilt or pressure anyone, but if you register for the weekend, that gives you a better chance of getting a good healing because you're providing exchange. So again, it's not a matter of me holding back. It's nothing I'm doing differently. This is just a law of the universe. As an example, anyone ever had someone give you a book? I have people give me books all the time. Some of them I read, a lot I don't. Why? There was no exchange. It was just given to me. I didn't ask for it. It just showed up, right? But I remember when I was a teenager, me and my best friend, Josh, we wanted to buy this book we saw advertised in Motor Trend called How to Avoid Speeding Tickets, right? Of great interest to two 17-year-old boys with sports cars, right? And we both were working jobs to save the money to buy that book. And I got a job at a movie theater, and I worked there for a couple of weeks, and I had to earn the money to buy the book because it was expensive. It was like $50, which was a lot of money back in those days, especially when you're making $3.35 an hour, right? And do you think I read that book? Of course I did. Cover to cover, like 4 times. Why? I put in so much exchange. But a book you're just given that you weren't looking for, you may not even open. They could be the same book. That's just an idea of exchange. So those are the obstacles to the healings tonight. With that said, we absolutely have seen miracles happen during the healathon. So we're going to give it our best shot. Okay. Request for healing from Iodeji. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. From Denise. Okay. Denise, give me 1 second. Let me see if I have a Denise here. Let's see. Yes, Denise. Looks like you came through. It's Denise in New York. You're all set. Okay. Okay. Julia, I lose measurements, but I don't lose weight. Interesting, Julia. Just so everyone knows, weight has a lot to do with the subconscious. However, almost everyone, short of a medical condition, like sometimes you have a thyroid or medical condition that we can heal, you can lose weight without needing to change your diet or exercise. But short of that, what will happen is we can clear the subconscious blocks that are preventing the things you're doing from working. And so I would be curious, Julia, to measure your body composition. Because if you're doing a lot of exercise, especially resistance training, you may be gaining muscle and dropping fat, but your weight doesn't change, in which case that's really good. That's actually much better than losing weight, because the more muscle mass you have, the higher your resting metabolism goes, the easier it is to keep the weight off. So a lot more follow-up questions, but yeah, absolutely. This stuff can be used to help lose weight. Okay, I got a question from Christina. I don't want to read the whole thing here. Christina, email support@awakeningdynamics.com, and I'll try to give you an answer offline. It's kind of private stuff, so I don't want to get into it here. Okay, Suzanne, let me know if you were able to register. If not, I'm happy to help out. I don't know if we had a Suzanne. So anybody that's interested, you should be able to just click on the button that says, yes, transform my life. Let me get a link for you. If for whatever reason you aren't able to use the button, you can. I'm just going to post a link into the chat room. It goes to my old website. That should work too. Amy, yes, this is where you give specifics for healings. Yes. Okay. Sandor asks, if this technology is so powerful, why isn't it spreading faster in healthcare fields? There's a lot of reasons for that. Number one is a lot of them don't want the competition. It's that simple. The true story, when I first experienced this, I experienced a genuine miracle with my elbow, right? My doctor, my orthopedist, saw what happened. She saw I couldn't move my arm for 4 months, right? And then I went to this crazy healer lady, and the next time I saw her, it was fine. And I didn't need my CPM machine or any more therapy or anything for it. And so my orthopedist saw this. My physical therapist saw it, because I was going to physical therapy 2 or 3 days a week. And so it was like 2 days apart, right? On Monday, I went to physical therapy. My arm was frozen. I saw Terry, I think it was a Tuesday, we had that session.
And then I went back to physical therapy on Wednesday. I could move my arm. So my physical therapist saw it, right? I thought when I built my professional business, I trained intensively for a year. Then I opened my professional business after a year of intensive training. I thought my physical therapist, my biofeedback person, my acupuncturist, my orthopedist, maybe even my elbow surgeon, I thought they would be so jazzed and so excited about this that they send me all sorts of people that would want healings. And so guess how many referrals I got from all those people? And again, these are people that saw with their own eyes that I experienced a miracle, right? Probably a half a dozen people I was seeing regularly. An acupuncturist, physical therapist, biofeedback, surgeon, orthopedist, my Neikung instructor. There were a couple others. The total number of referrals I got was 0. What we call the round number, right? It's a round number, the round number. Why is that? They didn't like, in some ways, they were happy for me on a personal level, but they didn't like it on a professional level because they saw it as threatening. Because why else would they not send me anybody, not a single person? And I asked for it. I gave them a stack of business cards. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'd love to work with some of your other patients. I'll give them a big discount. I'll give the first session for free. 0. So Sandor, that's why it's not widespread. And there's also that most people aren't ready for this. That this is consciousness technology. You have to be in the right consciousness to be ready for it. You cannot go out and heal people that are still in victim mentality. It won't work because they're not ready for it. But all of you are. Simply the fact that you showed up here tonight on the webinar proves to me you're all ready. But a lot of people aren't. So even if you somehow forced mass adoption, it wouldn't perform as well for the masses as it does for us. It's nothing personal. It's just most people aren't ready for it. So I hope that makes sense. And I don't mind the hard questions. Not at all. Request for healing from Kate, from Paul, Sandor, Nancy, Daniel, Michelle, Zena, Amy. Okay. Is remission of psoriasis possible? Yeah. You know, same thing I said about anything can be healed. The exact process or timing is going to be a little different for each person, and we don't pick the miracles, they pick us. But if I or someone in my family had psoriasis, this is the first thing I would do. Okay. Opie, healing request. Michelle, Rachel, Mark, Christina, Daniel, Ernest. Okay. Healing request. Okay, Suzanne asked, I'm not sure I'm clearing. Suzanne, I think you're talking about the muscle testing. So here's a short answer, Suzanne. Always make sure you calibrate yes and no, right? Yes should always give you a strong or a forward. No should always give you a weak or a backwards. So always calibrate yes and no, then run your tests. If you do that, that should give you much better confidence that you're getting the right answer. And it should, and your fingers and your body should agree almost all the time. If they're not, there's something off with how you're testing. Okay. Christina asked, is there anything I can do to jumpstart my newborn's intuition, subconscious, and enlightenment? Yes, Christina. Your own path. The way you do it is through you and the father, if possible. I don't know if he's open to this or interested. It's ideal if both parents are doing the journey. If that's not going to happen, don't worry about it. Do the best you can. But for, again, a young child, send them unconditional love. The parents are the ones that need to do the deep work. You're the one that needs to pursue awakening, get into the subconscious, learn about higher consciousness, right? That is going to be the most powerful thing for your child. And then when your child's around 5, 6, 7 years old, that's when they're really mature enough to start having their own sessions with you present. And usually around 10, 11, 12, then they're mature enough to have their own session, and you probably shouldn't be part of it. So that's usually how it goes. So I hope that helps. Okay, request for healing from C. Okay, request for healing from Amanda. From Paul, yep. Joseph sent me a private message. Yes, got it. From Pete, from Cheryl. And again, some of you guys, I'm going to put the replies into the chat room. For some, I'm going to say it out loud. So if you don't hear me say it, check your chat. And if you don't see it in the chat, listen. I'll do a little of both. Okay. So I usually get some questions about the radio station packages. I understand that sometimes the radio stations, just so you know, they're generally volunteers or people not paid very much who are working really hard to try to keep everything running. So just have some compassion. For anybody that's had trouble with a radio station for whatever reason, if you can send me your receipt of the donation and tell me what you ordered, I will give it to you. So just send me some receipt or proof that you made the donation and let me know which package it was. And they're supposed to handle all that. But if you're not getting anywhere with them, I'm happy to help out. Just send that to support@awakeningdynamics.com and we'll take care of you. Okay. Request from Marcia. Okay. Natasha says, I feel my subconscious is on reverse. Whatever I think of, reverse happens. Fascinating. It's that's what my mentor called reverse wiring. And it's kind of funny. One of the guys, I've dabbled in day trading a little bit, and one of the teachers I had for day trading, he made his breakthrough by realizing that he was always losing money day trading. And he had this realization, oh my God, all I have to do is do the opposite. And then he started making tons of money and started teaching his system. So the way he found it was he had learned all this stuff that wasn't working. And he realized, oh my God, if it's never working, if I just do the opposite, it will work. And it did. So we can work with that for sure. Request for healing from Jen. Glenda asks, can this work on COVID? We can heal anything. However, I have to be very careful not to make specific claims about COVID because there's a lot of local laws and regulations, as well as Facebook and Twitter and tech company policies against that. So for that reason, I cannot make any specific claims about COVID. However, I will be talking more about COVID during the weekend and the kinds of things that you would want to get into the subconscious and work on if someone has COVID. So that'll be, it's not in the manual, but it's something we'll cover. Okay. Request. And if any of you has COVID and want to book a private, I think it's a fascinating thing to work on from a professional perspective, right? Just like a doctor may say some horrible disease is fascinating from a scientific perspective. From that perspective, it's a really interesting one to work with. So absolutely, but I can't make any medical claims. Cool. All right. So request for healing from Susan. Okay. Request for healing from Angela. From Latoya. From. Okay. Can you combine this with acupuncture? Absolutely. So Pete asked about that, and I'm going to talk a little about that during the weekend because I understand that not everybody wants to be a professional healer like me. I get that. Less than 10% of my students have any interest in doing a semi-professional or professional practice. Most people just want to use it for themselves. I'll talk a little bit about how you can combine the things you're going to learn with things like acupuncture or massage. Because I get a lot of students that are acupuncturists, a lot that are masseuses. So I'll talk a little about how to combine that where you want to use energy work, but you're not in a situation where you're just doing healing like I would. So I hope that makes sense. So yes, Pete, we'll talk about that. Okay, Natasha requests for healing, Glenda requests for healing, Opie requests for healing, Denise requests for healing. Okay, Denise asks if it's similar to body talk or body code. There are similarities. And so I'll try to give a quick answer here. The way I look at it, we can divide all the self-improvement, energy healing technologies into 3 generations. The first generation is kind of your typical positive thinking, right? Motivational speakers, basic law of attraction. Try to think positive and be upbeat and focus on the goal, right? That's good, but it's pretty basic. And so I don't teach a lot of that because a lot of you already know it. And on its own, it doesn't do much. So that's kind of the first generation, positive thinking, law of attraction kind of stuff. The second generation would be things like body talk or body code or emotion code. In the second generation of self-improvement technology, we get into how to work directly with the subconscious or the cellular memory. And we learn processes for clearing blocks, whether it's through tapping like EFT or body talk or body code or quantum touch, right? They're all very similar. They're different ways of identifying and clearing subconscious blockages to facilitate change. And with the second generation technologies, that's when we start to see a lot of medical miracles. That's also when we start to see a lot more transformations, but it tends to be hit or miss. So you'll have some people that get great results and a lot of the people that nothing happens and you're like, yeah, sorry. So the third generation, and there was really no one else doing this other than me and my late mentor and maybe a few other of his students, is the third generation. That's the stuff that inspired Limitless. That's the quantum field entrainment, the consciousness shifting, and the movement. I'll let everyone know it has a steep learning curve. That's not something you're going to master in an hour. You got to work at it. It's not easy to learn, but it is phenomenally powerful. That combined with awakening is the most powerful thing going. I'm not aware of anyone else that's teaching the third gen. What I'm going to give you is a combination of the most technologically advanced second gen techniques blended in with the third gen. So will I show you how to clear blocks? Yes. Can you learn that in other places? Of course. But what I'm going to show you is much easier, much faster. So I can clear blocks on 1,000 people faster than you can blink your eyes. I don't know anybody that can do that with body talk or EFT. Maybe it's possible. I've just never heard of it. So it's the same essential technology, but it's much faster, much easier. All of you, when you come through the weekend, by the end of Saturday, you will be able to do permanent subconscious shifts in seconds. Every single person. I don't know any other teacher that can claim that. So yes, some of the second gen stuff, you can learn other techniques, but they're going to be slower, more complicated. I'm going to make it easier, faster. But I'm also going to show you the third gen stuff. The reason I do both is the second gen is much more accessible. It's much easier to learn. You're more likely to have success with it right away. That's why I do both. The third gen has a steeper learning curve. It takes longer to develop skill, but it is more powerful. So I hope that helps. Okay, request for healing from Helena. Okay. When I say healing, really, you might call it focused prayer. You might call it mind power. It is a technology. The Theta state is part of it, but I do not teach or practice Vienna's work. I used to. She was one of my teachers. Long story about why I left, but long story short, I wanted to keep advancing and evolving the technology, and she didn't. It also really annoyed her that my name was ranking above her in Google searches. So, people that are in a lot of ego, they don't like that. But healing is simply learning how to connect to the divine to facilitate healings. That's how I would define it. Okay. Latoya, request for healing. Can it be unblocked? Yeah, absolutely. So Latoya, it may take some subconscious work. It may be a simple thing. Some people's crowns, third eyes open just from working with me. Others, it takes more time. Can it be done? Absolutely. Just a question of whether you're willing to do the work. Okay, request for healing from Pete, from Lalani. Okay, let me see. All right, so yeah, if you guys click on offer and then yes, transform my life, I can also put it into the. I'll put a direct link into the chat room just in case anybody's had any trouble getting on to register. There's the direct link. Request for healing from Brenda, from Natasha. Okay, awesome, Latoya. Can we help with mitral valve? Sure. Again, I can't make any promises on how long it will take, but anything can be healed. So I hope that's fair. Okay, how do you reverse your subconscious? It's easy to reverse your muscle testing and the answers you give. I'm going to teach that during the weekend. Getting over reverse wiring is a longer process that requires the quantum field, but it's doable. And Natasha, if you're coming through the weekend, ask me for the article on reverse wiring from my mentor. I'll see if I can get it to you. Okay. The upcoming weekend is December 4th to 6th. So I'll put that in the chat room. And 5 to 9. And all this is on the page. So if you're interested, when you click the button, there's no obligation. It just has a lot more, all the details, right? So it has the days, the times, the list of bonuses. So click the button if you want it more, but I'll put it here, 5 to 9 p.m. Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Hope that helps. Okay. Martha asked about Dr. Joe. Do you mean Dr. Joe Dispenza? If so, I love Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's one of my favorites. In fact, if I had to pick one favorite, he might be it. I'm also a huge fan of Neil Donald Walsh. So a huge fan of Joe Dispenza for sure. I think he's one of the better ones out there. I don't want to go beyond that. I don't want to say anything critical. I have my criticisms, but I don't want to get into that. I'd rather answer your questions and do healings. But yeah, I love his stuff. I love that he's trying to bring some science and rationality and rigor to this world. That's what I really appreciate. I'm also a big fan of Greg Braden. I like his work. I could go on and on. A whole bunch of books I'll love all of you to read, but I don't want to get into that here. I'm a huge fan of spiral dynamics. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Here's the trouble, though. A lot of stuff, there's great books, great programs, videos, but you can't embody it just by getting the knowledge in your head. That's why I talked about embodiment. First, I'm going to put the knowledge into your head. Then I'm going to show you how to embody it. They're both really important. All right, awesome. So I think we're through all the questions. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do all the healings in the next couple of minutes. So I'm going to go silent, close my eyes. Normally, if I'm doing healing on one person, it's much shorter, but we got a lot of healings. It'll probably take 2 or 3 minutes. After that, I'm going to do the radiation clearing healing on everybody. So if you're still here, we're going to do all the healings right now and then the radiation clearing. And if you have any questions that haven't been answered, go ahead and put them in the chat room. I'll catch up on those before we finish. And if there's anybody that's tried to register and had trouble for any reason, let me know. And I will follow up with you personally. The best thing is just send me a private message and give me your first name and email address. And either I will do it tonight or me or my assistant will follow up with you personally tomorrow. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat room. If you haven't registered, you have less than 10 minutes. So we'll be done in less than 10 minutes. So now's your chance. And remember, you only get the free private session if you're registered tonight during the live event. All right, so let's do our healings. So I'm going to do them all together right now. So it'll be a little boring, but it'll take 2, maybe 3 minutes. So here we go. All right, all set. So that was all the healings. Now I'm going to take a second to send unconditional love to everyone that joined us tonight and anyone that you may have submitted healings for without permission, because I know a lot of you didn't know. So this will be a shorter process. This will just be about 20, 30 seconds. And I think Christina asked about her son. We'll make sure he's included. Someone asked about their brother. All right, awesome, all set. So again, if you have any questions, we got about another 5 minutes here. I'm happy to answer them. Just type them into the chat room. If you have not registered for the weekend, now's your last chance. At least if you want to get the $497 price point, the bonuses, the free retake, the free private session, and the whole 9 yards. If you're having any trouble with that, let me know. Just put something into the chat room. Just give me your first name and best email, and I will follow up probably tomorrow, and I'll extend the deadline. So if anybody's trying to register but having a problem, make a fuss right now, and I'll follow up probably tomorrow, and we'll extend the deadline for you. So the last thing I want to do here is radiation clearing. And so this is one of the topics that we're going to cover in the weekend. So all of you coming to the event, you're going to learn how to do this. So you'll be able to do this for yourself, your family, as much as you want the whole rest of your life. But I want to do it for you right now. And so when we do it during the weekend, I'm going to talk a lot about the dangers of radiation and things we can do to ameliorate that or minimize it. And we're going to show how to use muscle testing to actually see that something's changing. Long story short, when you hold your arm out without a phone on your chest and you zip the field, you'll go strong. When you hold a phone to your chest that has harmful radiation, no matter how many times you zip, your arm won't stay up. It makes you go weak. So we're going to do that in the class, then walk you through the clearing, and you'll find that after the clearing, even with your phone on your body, it doesn't affect you. So that takes more time than we have. We're going to do that on Sunday of the live weekend. What I'm going to do for you tonight, right now, is a healing to clear the radiation from your bodies and your phones. So if you want to be part of this, just give me a thumbs up and say yes out loud. And this should take less than a minute. So we're doing the radiation clearing right now. All right. And there we go. So if some of you already know muscle testing, you can check yourself, hold your phone to your chest. It won't make you go weak. It's really cool. All right. So I'm going back to the chat room. We just got a couple of minutes later. Okay. Val, what happens if you're on a lot of medications and have a healing? Generally, it's pretty safe. I would just say always go back to your doctor before you change or stop medications. Please don't do that on your own. So it is possible that the healing will make your body so you don't need the medication anymore. I can't guarantee it, right? I'm not a medical doctor. I cannot give advice on medications, right? Want to be clear. But what I've seen is some people, their body heals. They may not need it anymore. When that happens, go back to your doctors. Hey, doctor, I don't think I need this, right? So if you have high blood pressure and you don't need it, your blood pressure might start going too low. So go to your doctor. They'll check it and see and go, oh, wow, your blood pressure is a little low. Let's take you off that medicine, right? So that's what I would do. Okay, Christina asked for those requested healings. Do they need to do anything? Nope. Now, if you want to get into the subconscious, yes, they have to do something. But just to receive a healing, nope, nothing at all. Okay, Amy is having trouble. Yeah, make sure you email support@awakeningdynamics.com. Or if you don't mind putting your email here in a private message, I'll pass it on to me and my VA and we'll follow up with you. And also, Amy, let me pull up the old page. Give me just 1 second here. Let's see. No, it's not there. I can give you the link on my old website that might work for some of you. So this is for Amy and anyone else that needs it going in the chat room. That's my old website. It should work. Try it. Otherwise, we'll follow up and work with you. Okay, Amy asked, should I not do a trauma clearing tonight? I think it's okay. Just one healing plus a trauma clearing, that should be fine. If you're concerned about it, wait till tomorrow. If you're concerned about a healing crisis, just wait till tomorrow to do the trauma clearing. No problem. But it should be okay. Okay. All right, so Nancy and Amy, I got your emails, and you'll probably hear. I'm going to send out a personal email tonight, and me or my VA will follow up tomorrow. All right, any other questions? I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up. So it's been awesome having everyone here for the Healathon. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you experienced something. And for those that feel that the weekend intensive is a good fit, it's awesome. That would love to see you join us. I think you're going to be amazed. So we're going to finish with a little closing prayer. All right, so Latoya, I gotcha. You'll hear from me tonight too. So I will follow up with all of you. So last chance, if you have any questions, if you're having any trouble with the registration, just post your name and email into the chat room, and I will follow up. Otherwise, again, it's been awesome having you all here. And I'm going to do a little closing prayer for everyone. Father, Mother, God, Creator, Source, thank you for bringing us together, giving us this wonderful opportunity to teach, practice, and learn awakening dynamics. Thank you, and namaste. All right, good night, everyone. Hope to see you all soon. Bye.